What is up, everybody? It's me, it's RDV, and I'm back here on another Thursday night. The best comic books of the week. Joining me, as always, is Geekeasy and Mr. Eric Breen.
Yep.
Zach will be here shortly, I guess. Maybe. Well, no.
Who?
Exactly.
Exactly. Ah.
Yeah.
I have a feeling the only Zach I'm going to see tonight is McKinstry, who's in this game I'm watching.
You could have made up a completely bogus last name, and I would have known the difference because I don't watch sports.
Well, McKinstry sounds enough like a made-up name.
It does. It's like they want to like Mackenzie, but they're like, well, let's add a little flair to it. Stree. What?
Right now I'm watching the Indians Tigers. Indians are up 2 in the top of the 9th. Yankees are up 1-0 on Kansas City, and I think the Niners were up 10-0 on the Sea Hags.
Jeez.
Yeah, my nephew's a bit. Most of my family is Sea Hags fans, except for me and my nephew.
So I have 11 new books this week. One of them I'm gonna get a chance to read. I forgot all about it. I read everything this morning. I'm like, oh, I forgot this book. So, plus I got some back issues. Got quite a few. So we'll get this going. Shout out to Jay. Shout out to, well, you're already in the panel. And Maradia. What's up? And anybody else he may be watching right now. All right, just gonna pull up my phone. How about we change it up this week? Who wants to go first?
Not me.
Give me 1 second and I'll go first. I just need to go grab something real quick.
All right. He's gonna go grab his comic books. You've got those. Brainer like the kid, like, who wants to sit? I'm gonna sit in the back of the bus. Screw this.
Yeah. A less combative Rosa Parks.
Honestly, when it came to like sitting in the back of the bus, you're like, everybody's like, oh, because they're like, oh, it's cool. No, I want to be near the exit. That was my thing. If I had to get out, man, watching all those movies and seeing people getting in accidents. But
okay, I realized I didn't have that version of it, so I had to grab it. I thought I had everything, but I didn't. But anyway, I've got
all right,
one back issue, a couple of
I wish I had one
books from in stock trade, and so the worst of the week, and it's not saying it was bad, is Green Lantern Civil Corps.
Nice.
Number 1 is
special one shot. Yeah.
Yes. I think I got most of the way through it. I think I got it all, but I wound up putting it aside for various reasons. Then
it's a good book, though. It connects.
Yeah, it was. Sorry. Yeah, it is good. It was. I don't know why I put it aside. Maybe I was just kind of excited to get to the other books. But then, so that'd be. I think this is 10. Geiger, number 7.
Oh, you got the nice cover.
Yeah, I'm not sure if this is the only one or not, but it was a
no. That's a variant for the top exclusive variant. I did not see that in my shops at all.
Yeah, it was a really nice cover, and it was kind of a good book. I mean, it was just a bit of a departure from normal, I think, but it's setting up some more stuff going on. And I don't. Is that guy? Did you read it?
Geiger? Yeah.
Yeah. Did you get this issue?
Yeah. I didn't get that version, that cover. Yeah. No, but
But the guy at the end, is he someone that we know of, or is he new?
He's a new person as far as I know, because the original King is dead.
Yeah. That's what I thought.
But it's been like 2 years probably since you read that story, or whenever the Geiger first came out.
Okay, then I think this is 9. Batman and Robin, number 14. This is actually a good series. It seems like maybe they've de-aged Robin a little bit. He looks a little bit younger in this one than he normally does.
Yeah.
But I like the way they're doing this. I mean, because it's more of a family dynamic, and it's the two of them working together, and there's still little bits of Robin wanting to go off and do stuff himself, like in this one. They had to. They're at a party, a fundraiser for some hospital that Bruce is a Wayne Tech. Bruce is in charge of sponsoring, and someone attacks, and he has to tell Robin stay here to keep an eye on the people while I go take care of this group. And this is after Damien had made some comment about Thomas, because he's like, "Oh, I'd never met him," and he made some snide comment, and you could tell it really pissed Bruce off. So they still have the little tension stuff going on there, but I like it. This is better than the actual Chip Zdarsky regular Batman series.
Which, in case those who don't know who heard about that, is Chip Zdarsky will be being kicked off. That's the rumor by probably in January.
Good.
Yeah, they have Jim Lee and Jeff Loeb coming on.
The Jim Lee? Is he doing the art?
See, now when you say that, you should be more like the Jeff Loeb, because no one gives a shit about Jim Lee anymore.
Well, I mean, is he going to be doing? He's going to obviously be doing the art, right?
So here's the thing: they pushed back the Chip Zdarsky's issues now. A couple of them, they're spreading them out more. Yeah. So give Jim Lee some time to actually do the issues, because he's all idiots.
Well, and it looks like, from what I understand, I stopped reading it for a while, and I brought it back on. So it seems like he's got his money back now. I think they're completely ignoring the fact that he lost his hand.
I honestly, the best thing to do is just ignore that little thing. Everything the Chip Zdarsky can just pretend it never happened.
Yeah, that's because they're just sort of making it this whole.
Because honestly, when you do a something permanent, it's like when they gave Aquaman a harpoon, for his hand, he lost his hand. Like, that was permanent. Now Batman losing his hand in some stupid way, it's like Nick Fury losing his eye because of a flirt and cut it out.
Yeah,
no.
And this whole anti-capitalist thing that Chip Zdarsky was doing and making him lose all his money, it's just like that's part of the whole Batman thing is the money.
Well, I mean, how else can he freaking do his job? It costs money for rocket fuel for the freaking Batmobile.
Yeah.
The gadgets. Does he go retrieve his cables after he fires a grappling gun? He has to go pack with gum.
Well, that's one thing. That's one thing I've always watched. Like when you watch the cartoon, he uses the grappling gun and all this stuff. And when they go flying, it's like, do they just leave that shit lying around places? And is there some sort of sub-industry where these guys go off and like grab this stuff and sell it on the secondary market?
They need to recycle like Spider-Man does. The webbing that basically disappears.
I mean, I like the way they do. They have an answer for it in Spider-Man, that the stuff dissolves, but here it's just like, is this dissolving rope?
Yeah, but I mean, if Spider-Man stuff lasts up for like an hour, and like I can like imagine just like having a teepee in New York with like spiderweb. But comic book logic doesn't apply anymore, especially it's even worse when you have people who can't write.
Like Zdarsky. I've never understood why people
Zdarsky can write. It's just that his woke ideology gets in the way. Then he has a thing for Grant Morrison for some reason. That's what his whole run was. Basically, the failsafe is him just basically like virtue signaling Boeing.
People talk about Grant Morrison, how great of a writer he was. I've never dug his stuff.
I can't say that I hate it. I also can't say that I like it. All I know is he had created Batman Inc., which I didn't really care. I thought that was kind of dumb.
Yeah, and
but the Damien thing,
stuff.
Yeah. He brought Damien in, so I like it for that. So.
He did some good stuff, but most of it, like there's a whole like second or third book of the trilogy that I have back there of his Batman run. It was just and so maybe he did have some good stuff. I think he suffers from Frank Miller syndrome, is what it is.
I don't know. I heard people like his Batman and Robin back in the day. So I don't know. Like I said, I'm not gonna hate on Grant Morrison. I'm just saying I was just like annoying that basically you're just repeating what somebody else did. Like way before you came on.
Yeah,
like,
pretty much.
create something new.
Speaking of new, number 5, Blah Day number 1, the Red Band. So this picks up right after the whole.
Wait, Blade's out again?
Yep.
I did not see that.
Yep. It's a Red Band. I need to go back and pick up a copy where I can still keep it in the bag.
Let me get yours early because I didn't see that. I think.
But takes place right after the whole what was the vampire thing they had, Blood Hunt or whatever it was. And so he's trying to recover, make up for whatever he did. And some people come to talk to him about him.
They just released the Red Band. They didn't release the normal. It's just Blade Red Band. That's why I didn't recognize it. Yeah.
Maybe it was in a plastic bag because that's because they have them, the Red Bands in plastic bags.
My thing is that it's $4.99, so
Yeah.
I was hoping they would release before they did just a regular version that's cheaper, but that's why I didn't see it though because I saw Red Band and the first thing I thought I was like, what the hell is this crap? Like more variant stuff because my shop gets stuff in like about 2 weeks late sometimes, so I passed it up. Oh, so you liked it? Yeah,
it was
that's good.
It's getting more back to his hunter roots and. Like some guy, and it seems like this new character comes in. The guy they have on the cover here is a representative of some group, and they want him to go after some guy by the name of Van Helsing, who used to be a hunter who went bad, and kill him. And he's just like, I don't work for people, but he goes and.
I was hoping you would have flubbed and said Van Halen. That would be awesome.
I'd like to see a vampire going after some Van Halens. Van Halens are the distant Danish cousins of the Van Helsings. And they're second. That's why they're touring the world as rock stars, as they're going after vampires and stuff.
And he's a vampire. He's alive.
Getting all the groupies, and that's how they fed.
Well, actually, there was a booklet comic book that actually had a bunch of rock stars that were like vampires. And I forget what it's called. Actually, it might have even been a Kiss thing for all I know. But anyway.
But did they have their blood in it, just like that Marvel one they did years ago?
No, every Marvel book is printed with feces.
Yeah, lately it has been, but and this one partially was printed with it.
Gross.
I did not like this issue.
Too gory or
no? The next one that's coming up.
Oh, okay. Then okay.
The Ultimates number 5.
I saw the cover and I said, you know what? We got diversity going on here. And I'm just at the point where if I wanted diversity, give me Kate Bishop.
Yeah, he's Indian, and so an Indian doing bow and arrow, and with the name Hawkeye.
Well, is he? So you say he's Native American? He's
yes,
yes. Because Indian is an incorrect term now because because they mislabeled them. They thought they were from India. So.
Yes.
Anyway, though, so is Clint Barton
is casino, not computer, is what we're looking at.
Is Clint Barton even in this issue, or is this another case like Shocker? Someone else grabbed his stuff, like he left in the garbage can.
I think they did mention that, but I think he did find it that way or something like that. I think this
in the alleyway, in the garbage can, he found this. He's like, it's mine
something
now.
Along that lines. Yeah, the person who was supposed to have it didn't get it, and he supposedly there's a reason in here why he calls himself Hawkeye, but it turns out that it's a bunch of bullshit. But
because he communicates with the animals, right? He smokes some and gets some.
No, it's not that bad, but it does.
That would be great though if he did, though. Yeah, awesome. My only question is that what do you think about him particularly fighting against Captain America throughout the issue, and then he's like, "Hey, bro, you want to join the team?"
I don't know if they actually. He was checking him out because Tony had not checking him out. He was checking in on him because Tony had these arrows they're made by Tony, and so he can shoot an arrow and it'll go 30 miles and take out a tank and stuff like that. So they're
everything's all Stark Tech on these Avengers. It says Stark Avengers,
and so he wanted to make sure that this guy wasn't going to be doing stuff and he's all for, these guys all for the under underdog, and we got to fight these people, and fuck you, and I'm not doing this stuff, and it was just, and
It's
it was kind of hard to tell if he was actually trolling Captain America or not, but he does get in a couple of good shots, and then I think they just sort of,
it's just like this whole like run. It just feels like it's just like who's the next person gonna be? They're gonna come in. It's be another diverse character. So I mean, I understand you're doing Elseworlds, but it's like this is Denny's Camp writing this, so that's why you're seeing this shit. It's not even Hickman writing it.
Yeah, I was digging it up until this issue. Actually,
I don't know. It's like if people enjoy this, go ahead. Like I said, I'm not a huge Avengers fan, but I do prefer the original roster.
Right. But I was actually digging this. I mean, it wasn't one of my favorite ones, and I wouldn't have cared if I missed an issue.
Yeah.
But this one is like, okay, now I'm probably gonna want to drop it just because Yeah.
So all I need to do is if I find Hawkeye's gear and I can be Hawkeye, pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, and they're letting him do it, which is like, dude, that's if you're worried about it.
You know what? So here's my problem with this. That's Ryan Wilder in the freaking Batwoman CW series.
Yeah.
Kate Kane's on a plane crash, and then Ryan Wilder finds this backpack that has the Batwoman suit in it. Then she says, "I'm keeping it. I'm Batwoman now." That's the same shit writing they're doing in this, apparently. That's why I have a problem with it.
Yeah.
I don't like people just picking up and say it's mine now, and then
everybody
cool with
diversity,
it
man.
Diversity, man. Like
I'm diverse, so I can keep it, and you're a racist if you don't like it, man.
The Hulk thing, She-Hulk, I mean, I like it, but I understand it, and it makes more sense. Yeah. This is just the point where it's like if somebody else picked up the Spider-Mans, and got bit, and you're like, well, it's now I'm Spider-Man. It's just frustrating.
I liked what Lucien said. That was actually kind of funny.
I'm Hawkeye. You're Hawkeye. Would you like to be a Hawkeye too? Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, it's getting ridiculous, but it's not Hickman writing, so I wonder if Hickman even knows that he's Hickman has to have some say in it, I guess, because
you'd think, because
world building.
But who knows?
Okay,
I don't know much about Hickman. I don't know much about Hickman, so.
Well, he's a good writer. I'll give him that. But he can be long-winded in some of his issues.
That can be fine sometimes, but I'm more worried about how he takes his stuff. But
what is your next book, sir?
Number 3, Minor Arcana.
Jeff Lemire.
Yes, it is. I'm pretty sure this is just a little mini series. This girl right here is, it's the typical girl from a small town, estranged with her alcoholic mother. I don't think there's a father in the picture. She left to the big city to get away from stuff, and her life sucks. She's coming back to this town to take care of her dying alcoholic mother, who was a tarot reader, and that's one of the reasons why it's called Minor Arcana. And then stuff starts to happen. She's had these, has these dreams that are somehow connected to it. It's actually pretty good, but I just don't like the art that much because it's really rough. And it just seems to be the style these days, where they have, or maybe they can't get good artists, but this is Boom and Jeff Lemire, so you'd think they'd be able to afford stuff like that.
It's because they're all Boom. Wow, was getting the good artists, and then they all went to DC and Marvel.
Yeah, but Marvel and DC, I heard their page rate sucks, so that's why all the other ones were getting better artists. But then I've noticed on some of these miniseries and things, they seem to be doing this intentionally, having this like art that's a little different, that's not as rough, or it's either that or they just can't afford good artists. I don't know.
No, it's not that Marvel. Here's the thing: Marvel DC. Marvel DC. It's not. They can afford it wherever they want because they have their backer money. No,
I meant just in comics in general is what they're doing.
They just don't choose. They just choose it not to get the best art because they'd rather do diversity hires. That's unfortunately the sad truth. But
but I have certain people in the industry who obviously aren't working for them now, saying that their pay rate per page sucks compared to.
It does, of course, because they're cheap.
Yeah, and that's why you're getting places like Image and stuff like that are getting.
You'll probably see like people like Megan Fitzmartin being paid more than Jeff Johns.
I don't think that's the case. I don't think that's a thing that happens.
There's a big reason why Jeff Johns left.
Yeah, because he wants creative control over his characters.
He's tired of the bullshit. I'm sure there's a number of the little things. So
I'm with Venkman on that one. I'm sure that the minute DC turned down Ghost Machine, I said, "Adios, MF."
Yeah, Ghost Machine is some good. That's look at the art on there. Look at the storylines. They're all.
Yep.
They'd be making bank because they could afford to.
But Jeff, you're missing the point.
Yeah.
They'd rather have Jezdia Axelrod dike up another character than do things that people like us want to read because it's like one of Aaron Sparrow's terms, fantagonism.
Yeah.
There's half of DC is fighting with the other half of the DC. Unfortunately, the guy that's on the side of producing quality is the biggest asshole in comics history.
That'd be Lee, right?
No, it'd be Mark Waid.
Oh, okay.
But I mean, it's a train wreck over there.
Yeah. Oh, and I agree with you on that. But I was just looking at maybe there might be a couple of other different reasons.
But they've made a couple of good decisions recently, which, again, if they could ever resolve the in-house conflict, DC could have a shot.
Yeah. And the problem is that they're not listening. The fantagonism, they're not listening to the people who buy the books. They're listening to the people who have the loudest voices, but the people who put their money down and buying the stuff, they're leaving, and they're being the haters and stuff. But the people who buy the book, but the people who squeak and don't buy the comics.
I'll tell you, if you hire Sina Grace to write a story where the gay Superman gets involved with a trans character, and the story is co-written by a trans person, I said, that's not going to sell,
right?
But
they do it anyway.
It gets Mary Sue gives you all kinds of plaudits, and Salon and all the Twitter loves it and stuff like that, and that seems to mean more to DC at this point than, like I said, keeping a guy like Jeff Johns. And that's now I'm off my soapbox. Please continue.
No, but I agree with you. You're saying it better than I could have. But that's why everyone's leaving, because they listen to that shit better than they do people like us who want to put our money down on a good story. And speaking of,
wait, so Jay, did I say what did I say?
You said trans man.
No, he's correcting me.
Yeah.
I don't know if I said trans person. I said I'll call Natalie Maines a trans woman. I won't call her a woman.
I will call her a dude that wanted to go use a girl's bathroom in high school.
Well,
I thought they were just coming up with a new superhero.
And that person's put in the work. So I said it's like that admiral in our administration that's just really not.
Well, the ones are passable and the ones that aren't.
All right, I'm sorry. I'm gonna mute myself now.
All right.
And speaking of good writers who left, but I don't know why they're coming back, and my shirt, you got the Batman, the absolute Batman.
He probably wanted the job. That's why.
When I heard about this, I was like, no, I'm not going to do this. It's just a cash grab. And the more I heard about what they were planning on doing with it, I was like, no. But I like Scott Snyder. I like his stuff, and I wanted to give it a chance, and I'm glad I did.
Some people were saying there was some, at least a little bit of, tiny bit of woke elements in there.
Tiny bit, but none
That book was the goat. That book was the goat. That was a good pick, Jeff.
The only thing that was Kevin Bacon to woke was Barbara is black.
Yes.
Jim Gordon is white. So big whoop.
It's not a big deal. It really isn't.
No,
it really isn't.
And
I don't even think
that's the only thing I'd noticed in there was that, and the thing that this is different.
As long as she's acting like Velma, I have no problem with it.
Now, Waylon, Killer Croc, what color was he originally?
Green.
Gray.
No, before he changed.
He was gray in the animated series.
I think he was black before we came to
Okay, because
I'm pretty sure he was.
He is in this one too, so I wanted to make sure.
Does he speak ghetto now?
No, he speaks like a dude. He speaks like a gym bro.
He owns a gym in this one, and it's
That's my worst fear. They're gonna take Croc and just turn him into a gangbanger. What's up, homies?
Everyone in here is you've got all the regular people, but they're all just a little different. His parents are still alive.
No. His dad is dead.
Oh, that's right.
Sorry, spoilers, everybody.
His mommy's alive.
Yeah,
spoilers.
And it's so funny to see a picture of the two of them standing next to each other. His
mom's alive.
Why is she like 4'11"? He's like 12 feet tall.
He's like well over 6 feet, and he's built like a brick house.
I gotta ask.
Big old growing boy.
And this will be spoilers. I know. I gotta ask. So is he construction worker? What the hell is he? Because he's not a millionaire.
No, he's not just a construction worker. He's like a civil engineer / he's interned at City Hall. He's kind of a jack of all trades. He's done a little bit of everything.
That's one thing I liked about it. Is that's how he gained his experiences. He's going around he learns about the city by going and working these different jobs. So New York City. I have no idea what that means, but you guys do it all the time.
So. You've never seen there was an old. It was an old salsa commercial.
Like that's his mom right there, and she works for Jim Gordon, who is the mayor.
So man, his mama, babe.
Yeah, I mean, like here's what I'm talking about when you see the two of them together right there.
There you go. That's not that unusual.
Now is she in on the whole thing? You're gonna do my bidding, son.
No, she's not in on the.
We are Batman.
She's kind of an activist, and she works for
an activist.
And the cool thing is, every person you have all the regular characters, but they're just slightly different. Like Waylon, he's a gym. He owns a gym. They mention Oz, and he's something they don't quite say what. Jim Gordon is the mayor. So they're there, but they just are slightly different. So,
is this Gotham as bad as the other Gothams, or is this more like a metropolis?
It's more Gotham. And one thing it reminded me of, and Zach, you can back me up on this one if you think so. Dark Knight Returns, the way that it was in there, with how bad the crime was, and the gang taking over the city.
The city.
That's what's going on in this one. And so it's sort of taking Dark Knight Returns, putting it at the beginning, and having him deal with that. Is that good?
Does he have Alfred at least? Or is it not Alfred?
Yes.
Yeah, it's like new crime pushing out the old crime, kind of.
But do you see what I got?
I would put it more. It's more like the Dark Knight movie, where it's like where the Joker comes in and tries to like take over all the crime bosses.
It's like a Batman Beyond thing, kind of thing.
I don't know about Batman Beyond.
Well, no, he's saying new villains coming in. I said like.
Yeah, it's like a new guy comes to Gotham and tries to take over from the old, like the established crime families, like the Falcones, the Maronis. I'm spoiling it, guys. I'm so sorry. I hate spoiling stuff.
But hey, if you're watching this, you should know stuff gets spoiled. That's what we do every week.
Not from me, though. Not from me. From Binkman, maybe.
All the dudes in the audience are probably already thirst trapped Sasha's last video, so they got all the spoilers yesterday.
Casual Comics. Yeah.
Oh, so she did something on that the other day.
Oh, she probably did a review for it. Yeah.
You guys don't know.
There's been multiple.
I didn't see it.
I'm actually subscribed to your channel, but I don't watch any of it.
That's
I just
the
see
first one I've watched in months.
Yeah.
I have to go look now.
I'm the only one here that didn't get that book.
Well, yeah, because I watched it because I did get the book and I wanted to get.
So this week, Vinkman did not want to be cool.
You know what though? The fun thing is that I can just read it online and see if I like it or not, and I'll decide.
Cheater.
I don't want to pay $6 or whatever for some of these books, and then have like. No,
it was
but
$5.
$5 is a lot, dude. It adds up. That's $5, or actually could have bought 3 back issues. You know. Yeah,
but sometimes it's worth it.
I do this for every book. So I read online. I decide if I want to buy it or not. Sometimes I don't read it at all because I'll just say this: for how expensive comic books are and how many I buy, it's a crapshoot. I'm gonna buy a book and now I'm stuck with that book and I can't get my money's back.
Look, you know how anti-DC I am.
I know how anti-DC you are.
And I got it. And if I'm recommending it, that should tell you something.
And I've put in like $60 this week, and there's one book that I put down because it was worth they were charging $10 for it, and I'm like, no, that was the Terminator one. The ooh shiny, the ooh squirrel.
Yeah, but nobody cares what you think.
No, they don't. That's why I gotta go first. Is have the good stuff later, right?
It's $10.
Yeah,
you must get an incentive version because the normal.
It was the old squirrel cover, the shiny,
foil.
Yes.
Oh, see, yeah, don't get the foil cover. Just get the normal cover. You could have got the Alex.
Yeah, who gets foils anymore?
Get the Alex Ross throwback cover.
See, yeah, I mean, I would have, but I just didn't want to walk back.
And actually, that was actually a pretty fun book. I enjoyed it.
I'll probably go back and get a regular cover.
This is $5.
Get a regular cover.
And I really enjoyed it because
one of the guys, I guess he remembered me complaining about paying $20 for the Wonder Woman thing, and the Wonder Woman Superman one, and he's just like, that's $10, right? It's okay. So I'll pick up that one a little later.
Yeah.
And number one, and I haven't read this one yet, and that's why it's just at number one, but Night of the Slashers. I got it just because slashers.
Technically, it wouldn't be counted at all. It can't be your number one book if you haven't read it.
Yeah, well, it's just true.
I'm promoting Absolute Batman as my favorite book of the week.
Yes, and so far it has been, but I don't know about this one yet. And then I got one. It's not a back issue. It's a facsimile.
Oh, you got the Batman one?
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
I could have got it. I decided not to because I had like over $40 in like back issues.
Ooh.
That's your problem. You have no self-control. If you had self-control with the back issues, you could have got Absolute Batman.
Wait till you see the back issues I have. Some of the back issues I got, I guarantee are better than the Absolute Batman.
You talk about no self-control. That's just me right there. But and then
he's not wrong, Zach.
Okay, and then there's a book that I said that I'd gotten a little bit ago that I didn't show the last time. It's this Adventures into Terror. It's the old Atlas Comics library, pre-Marvel, pre-code.
To make the joke, Adventures into Terror. That's like watching the Geeky.
Excellent choice there, young fella.
And then this thing came in yesterday or the day before. I got it off eBay. You know of Yo's Comics?
They do a lot of 150-page hardcover.
Wait, it's not pronounced
tributes.
It's not pronounced Jose, as you're going to say.
No, it's Y-O-Y-O-E.
Y-O-E.
It's Greg.
See right over back there. There's about like 4 of them right back above there.
Yeah,
we can go with number 5.
Nice, I've got that.
Cool.
Yes. Is it pretty good so far?
If I remember correctly, yes.
I've got.
I mean, there's a. Have you seen the Don Heck one?
Yes.
The cover's just a close up of a guy with a bullet in front of his forehead.
Yeah, I think I have that one. That's one of the ones that I have up there. But
I heard those books all have happy endings.
Yeah, they're good deals though. They're only $25, or they were.
Well,
this one was $29.99.
So they've gone up $5.
And it's a hardback.
Thanks, bro.
Brian, I'll wait till they hit High Fresh books.
I picked up a couple there.
Yeah, because that's where I get all my PSR books there.
But then due to passing my ID test at the airport today, so I can actually start doing my job, I went to Spirit Halloween on the way back. I picked up a couple things, some little candy mint containers. You know, one of them's shaped in knives, one's shaped in hatchets.
Oh, nice. I have the Ghostbuster ones from like 20 years ago.
And I got some pens. I got 4 of these things. It writes in red ink, which is kind of cool.
Those are very popular among failing businesses.
Yes. Which is
failing entrepreneurs in the back of alleyways.
If my life was a business, it'd be failing.
Do you
I don't know if that's
do you have
gonna be
these
proud of.
pens in black? You won't need them, son.
And then I got I can't believe they had this, but it was a doormat, which I actually have sitting outside now. It's South Park with Cartman in the front, and other 2 guys, and it's just screw you guys, I'm going home. So I put that out front, and then I got some decor.
I need to get that as a shirt.
Yeah, I got some decor to hang up in my apartment. You know, your favorite character there, Vickman.
Actually, it's not my favorite character.
Yes.
And I'm just saying, I'll just say, hey, it's great you guys like Terrifier and all that stuff. I'm just not into the whole slasher stuff unless it's a hot babe.
I don't. Even then, I don't get it.
You want to watch hot slashers? Go watch Night School, where actually is a hot babe that's doing the slashing.
I don't get it.
I'm
the roommate loves Halloween movies, and I'm just like,
the best thing I saw though is like he had Michael Myers sitting next to Jason on the couch. He's like, you know, Jason's problem is you keep chasing after multiple girls. I just chase one.
Hey, Brain, read the last one and see what do you think.
Well, I think Jackson's a little high right now because we've always said that Breen is the guy who discovered fire in the wheel and all stuff like that.
But I'm up there. I mean, he's not wrong that I'm not all.
Were you the one that said, "Nah, round is horrible. You use square."
Yeah. I'm too old to be the adopted son. I could just be the less cooler nephew, maybe.
Yeah.
But,
alrighty.
That's it for this week.
All right. Zach, how many books you got this week?
Good chunk actually.
Well, you spent more than $20?
Zach.
Actually, yes.
Zach.
Actually, yes.
Zach.
I did spend more than $20. Not that much more, but
all right.
there was a good amount. Hang on, let me get Marvel Snap off.
I'm saving mine for last.
All right, where am I? Here I am. All right. I did not put
I
these
am
in
here.
order. Did I put the? No, I did not. So I don't have any particular order these are going in. I'll just say how good they were
Zach,
as they come up.
You're looking a little slimmer there.
Thank you.
Is your roommate taking your food?
No, I've just been better about my eating habits. So
your shoulders look a little more narrow. Maybe just.
I think it might just be the shirt too. It used to be.
It's a nice polo shirt.
It's a very nice polo shirt.
You got to put your shoulder pads in.
Yes, that's it.
So I lose 85 pounds and no one says anything, and you guys are like, "Hey, you
Did you lose 85 pounds?
Yes, I have so far.
Oh, fantastic! Hey, dude, that's awesome.
Not probably not since I've been doing this, but used to be up about like 350.
At some point, he lost 85 pounds.
Seriously, congratulations.
That is awesome, though. I haven't lost.
You're on your way to having a better heart.
Yeah.
I still have about like 60 more to go, but
Hey, man, you're over halfway there.
I'll just say this: cut out the cigarettes and exercise more.
Cigarettes and sugar.
Sugar
has been a big one for me.
But I understand. I had a neighbor. He smoked cigarettes because that's the only thing calmed down because he couldn't afford to get he had back problems.
Sugar and a lot of alcohol, like a lot of
the only problem is if you smoke cigarettes and you're trying to work out, it defeats the purpose.
In 2 months, it'll be 3 years.
Dude, fantastic!
Since I quit drinking.
Good deal.
Cigarettes are the only thing that's keeping some of my people around me alive, so I'm doing a world a favor by smoking.
Right? Yeah, Ronnie. I didn't say. I'm just reading what you said. She said, "If Eric invented the wheel, I invented cave paintings, early comic books."
Speaking of comic books,
Jackson must be the little brother then.
boom. This Daniel Warren Johnson making a grown man cry over one of the most evil Decepticons ever. How does this man do it? I don't know, but I like it.
Who was
is
this grown man that cried?
This might or might not have been me.
You
It
make a
might or
grown
might
man
not have been
cry.
me. I mean, not cry, not flat out weep and wail, but there was definitely a lot of dust in the
Did
air.
this start you up?
Did it start me up?
And then you're never gonna stop.
No, never stop.
This was a great book. You all should be reading this. If you're not, shame on you.
But do you not know what song we're doing here?
Maybe he needs
No.
Hey, you know what he needs to prick himself up? He needs some brown sugar.
It doesn't help. It doesn't help. Geiger, issue number 7.
I can't get no satisfaction out of this guy.
This is me every time I come on the stream.
Ooh, do you know what we're quoting?
Yes, you're quoting a song or a band.
Rolling
assume that.
Stones.
Oh, Rolling Stones. I don't care that much for the Rolling Stones. They
But
have
you
like
at least
3
know their
songs that I
songs.
like.
You at least heard
I
them,
know,
right?
3 of those. Yeah, like 3 of their songs. They're
It's
okay.
like I don't listen to Cream, but I know White Room,
Queen.
Cream.
Cream.
Oh, I don't know who Cream is. I know who Queen. See,
Do
you
you
almost
know
had
who,
me.
do you know who Eric Clapton is?
I've heard the name.
He's a guy who goes a ton of lot.
Wait a second. Let's all just revel in our agedness and let Zach show his
The
books.
funny thing is that Zach is only 3 years younger than me.
Yes, but
Those were a
we
long
had
3
we had a very different upbringing, though.
Well,
My parents were very, very sheltering.
If they listened to the Rolling Stones, it could have gave you shelter.
My parents didn't listen to the Rolling Stones. My parents wouldn't let us listen to anything that didn't
My
have Jesus in the
parents
title.
listened to freaking anywhere from Black Sabbath
No, never.
to Led Zeppelin, The Doors,
Nope.
Paul Revere and the Raiders, Deep Purple,
Vinkman's just
Aerosmith.
reminding me how sheltered of a childhood I had. That's all he's doing.
I hope you cry now and realize you need to go experience all. You're like Captain America when he
You might be. You know what? You're not. You would make me cry as much as this.
You remember in the Avengers when Captain America was like he's catching up, he was listening to he had a playlist of all the songs he missed over the years. That's what you need to do.
Will you let him tell us about his books?
Fine, old man. I forgot you don't have much time.
Oh, I've
Dang.
got enough. I've got
Dang.
enough time to do this.
You could have at least pulled out the evil Black Cat impersonation accent for that. I mean, good lord.
Another funny. I can't do Black Cat. It's so hard as voice.
Oh, it sounded like I don't know what that's. That sounded like some cartoon character. I can't place it, but it
Well,
sounded
no,
like
the
somebody.
actual quote is from Splinter.
No, you didn't sound like Splinter. You sounded like somebody else. I can't place it
I
though.
made another-
Barney Rubble. That's it. Barney Rubble.
Hey.
Oh man.
Hey,
Oh.
Fred.
It's so good. It's spot on. Okay. Yeah, Geiger, issue number 7. Read it.
Don't
Actually,
watch it.
fun thing. I just forgot about this. Paul Pelletier, who is doing good work on G.I. Joe, Real American Hero, he actually does the art in this one. It's really good.
Yeah, he's doing the next 2, and then Jorge Corona comes back.
Yeah, it was really good.
I'll just say this: if you've watched,
That's how it always
if you've
goes.
read 1941, have you read Archie 1941?
Mm-mm.
It's a very serious
read
book,
Archie.
and we did it on the channel. And he's reading as Fred Andrews, and I had to read one of the characters, and I just put in the Barney Rubble. Hey, Fred. All right, continue, sir.
Okay, I was about to say, where does this lead?
I'm just saying we ruined the book. You like serious?
What else is new?
Because it's a World War II book,
Scarlet, issue number 5, the finale of Scarlet. Actually, the more I look at this cover, the more I dig it. Yeah, it's gonna lead into G.I. Joe in some ways, I guess. The Arashikage get the Energon looking sword. Nothing really huge. There's a couple of cool action scenes in here. Nothing gangbusters, but it was all right. It's over. Final issue. Rocketeer breaks free, issue number 3. Rocketeer breaks into Alcatraz Island, where the Nazis are dressed up as prison guards trying to break out war criminals.
Rocketeer get pistol whipped. There's a lot of Rocketeer gets.
There's a lot of there's some good stuff going on in here. So yeah, Rocketeer, always a fun ride.
And that guy who saved him one of the earlier issues with this guy who flies a plane. There's that one guy. He's the one that he's the one that contacts on the intercom. I don't know what his name is.
The government guy.
The government guy.
Dude.
I love it whenever he pops up. He's just like a Nick Fury type. He's like, I need to do this.
Yeah. Aw, thanks, Moran. I'll take that as a compliment. Looking like a 1941 version of somebody. They had class in the 40s. All right.
It's better than looking like Reggie.
Ultimates number 5. Really good issue. I enjoyed this a lot. Basically,
what was your favorite part?
Well, I could have told you by now.
But seriously, what is your favorite part?
All right, so I like where they show all the different arrows that he uses, like as he's firing them at Steve. I like this a lot. So anyway, Tony realizes like, hey, this Hawkeye equipment that I put out there, Clint Barton didn't want it, so he sends Steve to go find the guy who stole it because everybody else has different assignments. So Steve's going after him, and he and this new guy, his tribal name he says is Charlie Hawkeyes. They're like going, there's like this back and forth between them all while they're fighting over a Roxxon energy company. Steve ultimately gets the upper hand on him, knocks him out with the shield. But then he's like, you know what? I'm starting to think that the right guy did find the equipment. Because he's got like all the spunk. There's kind of like that classic Clint Steve, how they had that kind of back in that the rebel Clint didn't really fall in line behind Cap until I guess much later in the series. So there is kind of still that same spirit of insubordination between the two characters. So it was good to still see that. The art in here is also really good, by the way. But yeah, it was just a really cool issue. I enjoyed it. I've been liking this series a lot. This is getting, it's right behind Ultimate Spider-Man as far as Ultimates go for me. So big recommend. Another recommend is Green Lantern Civil Corps Special Number 1 by Jeremy Adams, Philip Kennedy Johnson, and Salvador LaRocca. Joe Mullen, Sinestro, and Jessica Cruz. This is the big misdirection. None of these bottom 3 characters are in the book itself. It's mostly a Hal, Guy, and John Stewart story. There are a few other characters that make some appearances, but it was really good. My big thing, and I mentioned this in the DM earlier, was that if you did not read Absolute Power or the John Stewart War Journal miniseries, I feel like you're missing out on a lot. Actually, there's even a scene in here because Alan Scott shows up in here as well. And if you didn't read the Alan Scott miniseries, which I don't think any of us did, there's like a power evolve like a power level or something that he got from that I missed out on. And like now he moves through the 4th dimension now, which is news to me. So if you're not keeping up with everything, there was probably something that you missed. You might have to go back and catch up on.
That's probably one of the reasons I stopped reading is that he had that whole outfit that he was wearing, and I was like, I have no idea what's going on.
Which outfit?
The John Stewart, that other ring that he had.
Oh, no, he's had that one for a while though. If I'm correct, he's had that one since
John's right.
Since the Scott Snyder Justice League. That was when he had the ultraviolet ring. I think they just now call it the Dark Star ring. But that was where John. Yeah, he didn't have the Green Lantern ring. It was like ultraviolet or something. Ash knows. Ash read it. I think that's the same ring. I'm not sure.
He had a channel, right?
He did. I used to fall asleep to it. It was like story time with Ash.
Now I have Wednesday nights.
But so there's a bunch of different stories in here. So John Stewart and Hal, they go to Thanagar because they're going to try to get the Thanagarians to help them overthrow the corrupt United Nations of Planets. Guy Gardner and this other guy, Shepard, who I think is from the War Journal series, they go to Oa. It's kind of funny because Shepard's kind of the serious guy, and Guy Gardner, of course, we all know is Guy Gardner. So there's a couple of different stories going on here, but overall, it's very fun to read. This is Green Lantern. This is like the cosmic DC stuff that I fell in love with. Not quite up to quite up to the Yellow Lantern Sinestro Corps War stuff, but it's pretty good. Somebody does show up in this as a Yellow Lantern. It's not Sinestro. It's somebody that would normally be considered friendly. Also, Mojo is in here, or Mogo. I always call him Mojo, but Mogo, the giant planet, yeah, he's in here. So that's how you know it's a good Green Lantern story when Mogo shows up. Best book of the week. Best book of the week. This was dynamite. That's all I can say. Is the dynamite book.
Oh no, you're right. The best book of the week was from Dynamite.
This was really freaking good, though. I really enjoyed this. Alfred, the way they changed Alfred around, I really enjoyed that. I thought it was really cool. The whole changing of Bruce Wayne to where, like we talked about, some of the changes they made where one of his parents is still alive and he's not the... Actually, him not being a millionaire, okay, I kind of knew about that going in. Another character, I'm not going to say if it's a hero or a villain, but another character being a millionaire or billionaire, I think he might be a billionaire, that change I found to be a little bit more interesting just because it caught me by surprise.
And the backstory on that is kind of familiar, don't you think?
A little bit, but
yes.
Yeah, Nick Dragota's, the art in here steals the show for me. The art in here is just fantastic. I loved it. I really hope... I'm not going to say that I know all the other absolute titles will be up to this par. I really hope they try to be up to this par. We'll see how that goes. But
it was brutal, though.
This was, it was so freak. And the thing is, I can't even. It's just so good. I don't want to go too far. I've spoiled enough of it already. I don't want to spoil it too much. It's really, really good, though, guys. Y'all really need to look at it.
It'd be really great if because he doesn't have any money, so he just rides a bicycle everywhere.
He does ride a bike. Won't say where he gets the bike, but he does ride a bike.
Oh my gosh, it's like Pattinson.
You think with this body he's gonna ride a little bicycle? Come on.
No.
Anyway.
Now, does that bike remind you of any bike? Say maybe Nolan.
Batman Begins.
Maybe, probably.
Dark Knight.
I feel like a lot of different artists have kind of riffed off. I feel like Sean Gordon Murphy might have riffed off of the Nolan movies at some point with the equipment and stuff. I don't know. Finally, I was a little bit behind, so I picked up 2 and 3 of Johnny Quest, which isn't normally my jam. I am getting a little bit more into it. The action scenes in these are really fun. I kind of get a little bored where it comes to the scientific exposition stuff. But these have been really good. Issue number 3, the more recent one, I keep getting the Jay Lee covers. I swear these are the only ones my comic shop orders. But this one has Johnny and Haji fighting against ninjas. And it's not Jezebel Jade. I guess it's maybe one of her descendants. She calls herself Jasmine.
Jezebel Jade's from the 60s.
Yeah. Well, so in the story... Johnny, his dad, Race Bannon, and Haji and Bandit end up in the year 2024.
Right, but if that Jade was there, she'd be as old as Haji and Jonathan.
Exactly. Unless she found some way of finding a Lazarus pit or something. I don't know. But anyway, it's a good story though so far. Like I said, the scientific exposition bits get a little boring for me, but the art and the action scenes are worth it, and it's a good family-friendly title. So, if you have kids, you want them to read comics, that's a really good bet. So, and that's Dynamite. So maybe that was Breen's number 1 of the week. I don't know. But that's it. That's all I got. Oh, no, that's not all I got. I got a little Superman Justice League card. Yeah, that's kind of cool. Anyway, that is all I got, though.
Are you in the Justice League now?
No, not until I get the Wonder Woman. I get the trifecta because I have the Batman one.
You gotta go by my shop and see if they have those.
You only have one? Or you have both?
I got the Batman one from last week.
Okay.
So, Vegman, did you want to go last this week?
I can go last this week.
Vegman's going to be the Breen.
I actually just finished reading one of my books.
All right, I'll go ahead and...
Hey, it's a book that I forgot that I had. I got a Billy Tucci book.
You ever buy so many books, Breen, that you forgot what you had? And you're like, oh, I bought this. I need to read this.
Well, I read them all this morning, and then I realized, oh yeah, the new book I normally don't pick up. Oh yeah, I got that book too. So,
all right, I have 6 new books this week.
What? I bet you get some
Yeah.
back issues too.
No, I don't. Number 6,
That's good to hear.
Giger.
Yo, oh, that's a cool cover too. I didn't see that one.
That was the
Yeah,
other.
I just didn't want to buy a headshot of a zebra. It was just,
I didn't even get that one.
Wait, were they only had those two? They didn't have the other one.
I didn't pay attention because I'm always one saying 6 months from now they're gonna be bagged, boarded, and boxed, and more than likely forgotten. But we've talked about this. This was by no means not good. It's just that this week I kind of look at it as I had a Rennie Stennett day, 6 for 6. I realize nobody got that reference, but that's all right. Number 5.
I'm so young.
Nice.
The baseball player that just did that, didn't he? Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, Rennie Stennett might have done 7 for 7. Now I think about Rocketeer. I like the relationship continues to develop between what's the old guy's name?
Oh, PV.
PV.
Yeah, Peavy and
Not PV. PV.
PV.
That's what I said.
and the one pilot's mom.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this is fun. I mean, this is just kind of like a building up to what's going on. I think he flew out to Alcatraz because his arch nemesis or one of his arch nemesis has kind of taken up residence there, but I don't think he's.
Don't recognize the guy. Do you recognize the villain?
No, I'm sure
At the very end,
if I read more Rocketeer, I might.
there
know
was
who it is.
there was that one Nazi chick from the previous.
Oh yeah,
miniseries.
yes. She get the hot blonde Nazi kick.
Yeah, Dalton Cozy, whoever that is.
I wonder if he's from the Dan Steven ones. Or,
I don't know, but yeah, so that was very enjoyable. Number 4, Absolute Batman. Wasn't I it was one of those. I don't know if it was FOMO or the hopes that maybe in 3 months it'll be worth $50 like Ultimate Spider-Man 1 was. But and I gotta be honest, I miss reading big 2 superheroes, but they don't give me anything that I want. But this was a new take on it. I love Alfred in this.
Alfred was pretty cool.
Again, like I said, that I couldn't care less that Barbara Gordon's black. Although I think it looks like she's like real young, like maybe a tween.
Yeah, like a beat cop or something. She's like very.
Is she? Was she? Oh, she wearing a uniform?
She was in uniform, yeah.
Okay, because she. I mean, she's whoever. Yeah, Nick. She looked 13. Might want to
Probably just out of the academy.
age her up just a bit.
I like how Bullock was the commissioner. And then
Yeah.
I love that look on his face when they're getting dressed down. He's like, "Arr." It's like, settle down, Harvey. Number 3, Johnny Quest.
Oh, see, that's the cover I wanted. The Sea Monster.
Like I said, I didn't watch the cartoons, and I've read the Kamiko series sparingly, so I'm not really emotionally invested in it, but I'm enjoying this tremendously. Joe Casey is doing a great job with this because I'm getting to really care about the characters, and I like that 70-year-old Haji and 70-year-old Johnny Quest aren't close.
Yeah, that was interesting.
So I hope we get a little bit more insight into what happened there, because I don't know if this series is built to be a continuing story, or if this is just going to be a 6 and out or something. I really don't know yet.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm very, very much fan of this version. Number 2, excellent ending. There's any way they went with this, it's been done before. So anybody saying, I've seen that before, of course you have, because there are no new ideas. But it was at least the guy without spoiling too much, if anybody did read it, the 2 cops have been working on these murders. the one guy's real idealistic, and he's, he can't be bought. He tracks the guy that it was behind it all, finds out that the guy had been working with him has been paid off by the corrupt official. And then it has a twist after that. And then it ends. It's kind of a bittersweet ending, but at least it's the way it ends. It's this guy has a shot to still do some good, and he didn't have to compromise all of his principles, just a good chunk of them, which, maybe in Soviet Russia, that at that time, that was all you could hope for. But
I mean, it had a happy ending.
Did it?
Well, I mean, he and his wife aren't killed.
No, but I mean, I said it didn't have the low winter sun ending that I thought it would, but the guy does have to live with the knowledge that I said he basically I guess he's sort of on the take, but at least he's still there, so maybe he can still affect some change from within. And his friend turned out to be not entirely corrupt.
Yes,
more than Dmitrovich, but
Smirnoff was actually pretty good. And it's the first time. It's the first time I've ever said that word, the phrase before. Smirnoff was pretty good.
Oh man, to the wall. MK, if you're still watching, I think it's just not Kansas City's night. Now, number one, Space Ghost. This book
came out this week.
Yes, It is terrific.
Oh, damn it! I got to go back and get it.
The relationship between Space Ghost and Jan and Jace. Listen, at the end of the 5th issue, Jan had to do something that Jan's the guy, right?
Sure, Jan.
I can't remember which is which. But the boy, the boy killed the villain, and I think it was Zolak or whatever it is.
And now his son will show up.
And he's agonizing, and he basically quit the team over it.
Wow.
And so they get into another serious scrape, and he ends up coming through at the end. And the best part of this book is, like I said, the relationship between this stoic guy from space and these two kids that he's come to care about.
It's Zarnik, I think, right?
Okay, Jace is the boy. Okay, well, Jace ends up coming through at the end. In my defense, I was watching the Road Warriors for 10 years, and I couldn't tell Hawk and Animal apart. So
I hear you on that. I mean, so it just sounds like if Jason Todd killed the Joker and Batman's like pissed at him.
No, it's nothing like that.
Really?
No, so because he did the right thing, but it's tearing him up. It was tearing him up because he's a kid and he killed somebody. He's never he never dreamt that he would do that, because it's like, it's all fun and games until someone gets killed, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And it was tearing him apart emotionally. And, and they understand it, but he's just like been sitting on the ship moping. But then he has to save Space Ghost and Jan. And so he does. And the way it ends, like I said, Space Ghost has really become like a father figure to these two kids.
Yeah.
And it's so well done. And, I didn't have high hopes because I'd never really heard anything great about David Pepose. Well, this is great. I mean, this is just flat out a great comic. And anybody that's not reading it, I mean, no, all kidding aside, no joking, you should be reading this. Especially like Zach, if you're enjoying Johnny Quest, you should be reading Space Ghost.
I did. It's funny because I really did like David Pepose. He did a few issues of Fantastic Four before Ryan North took over, and then I think he did a Moon Knight series. That was
he did a very forgettable Punisher run also, but
did he?
And I also picked this up. If you're old enough, which means Jackson, Maranya, I'm not outing anybody. This was a magazine in the 70s that ended in the 70s, and someone revived it a few years ago and kept the numbering.
Nice.
And this is it's to quote Rod, square bound. It's $13, but it's like 130 pages.
Is it comic books or just talking
No,
about
it's just like it's like an old monster magazine. I don't know if you've ever seen any of those from the
Monsters of
70s,
Filmland type
I have
stuff.
60s, and
Fangoria.
70s. But
Oh,
yeah,
I
well,
have not.
Fangoria was kind of the like the bastard grandchildren of stuff like Famous
Sure.
Monsters.
Yeah.
But this is more like an old timey film, and it's in newsprint. But what got me is what got me to pull this off the shelf is there's these little films in the sprocket or little stills. I recognize the second one from a movie called A Polish Vampire in Burbank. It was a 1983 low budget comedy, and which I can't believe anybody in the world remembered. And that was one of the 15 movies everybody's forgotten article. So I'm glad I got it. It's kind of cool actually. I like that it's newsprint because it's I wish all magazines were, because a short box of Alter Ego and back issues weighs a ton. But,
yeah, the Vampirillas I got in a short magazine box, and it's in my closet over here. And that thing is like freaking heavy. So it just stays there.
well, at least the original magazines, a magazine box of those,
You mean the old Warren stuff?
What's that?
The old Warren stuff?
Yeah, those I can still handle a magazine box of those, but
I got Carmilla. I got that too.
Those are newsprint though, so those won't turn into.
It's still freaking heavy though.
not like back issue and Alter Ego and Cryptology and Retrofan.
Yeah.
Good God, you could fucking tie down a
I know what you mean though. I cleaned up my great aunt's apartment. When she was in a nursing home, she had every single National Geographic that was ever made.
Ooh,
those
nude
get heavy.
pygmies.
Yeah.
Do you know? Jeff might have a clue. Might have a shot at getting what that's from.
Yeah, the old National Geographic, the investigative reporters that they do.
Well, there's an episode of Happy Days.
Happy Days.
When they found some National Geographic, and Ralph goes, "Ooh, nude pygmies." But that's all I got.
It would be Ralph. It would be Ralph.
If there's time after Venkman's show and tell, I might pull a handful of the JSAs that I
just wanted to show you guys one thing.
Oh yeah, you got those JSAs. I'm so proud.
Hey, can I go real quick? One more thing, real quick before I go. I gotta get some sleep and get up in 5 hours. Something came in the mail that I completely forgot about that you guys would really love to see.
Your bride?
Yes. Speaking of Polish, that the Polish part reminded me. Mail order bride. Babylon 5, the complete series, Blu-ray, which they said would never come out, but it has.
Neat.
Yeah. You gotta be careful on those mail order brides. Sometimes they actually take it literally, and you get a mail instead of the bride.
Yeah.
Then, all 5 Superman movies, 1, 2,
Nice.
Donner Cut, 3, 4, and THX. Now, here's the one that I'm sure everyone's gonna love, or you should.
Nice.
Very neat.
It's from 70. What is it? 74 is the first one. 73, all the way up to 83. It has the not the Wonder Twins, but the boy and the girl with the dog.
Now, if you run out of room in your place,
Who was
just leave the Babylon 5 outside. It'll be safe.
Best science fiction program ever. Right
I'm
above.
pretty sure their Super Friends will be safe too.
Oh,
I mean Super and Friends.
Can we? Oh wow! But Babylon 5 is best science fiction program ever. DS9 ripped that off. Then there's Farscape #2. Then other stuff. BSG 3.
God, I'd rather watch Mad Men with a box on a loop.
All right, Unc. Jesus.
I found something even more relaxing. It's a channel called Pixel Lore, where they're talking about the Rings of Powers.
Oh, Pixel.
Oh
no.
dear God, there's more.
Pixel.
Yeah.
No.
It continues for another hour. So you get 2 hours.
Okay,
of
so
relaxation.
they talk about Babylon. They talk about Lord of the Rings.
Yes.
I'd rather watch Babylon 5 on a loop.
Except it's not even legit Lord of the Rings. It's a pseudo
I'll just say this:
inaccurate telling of Lord of the
Pixel
Rings.
made a nice 16-bit Lord of the Rings intro music for that.
Oh, that's actually pretty cool.
So
16-bit? I'll have to listen to that.
Yeah. So
I'm gonna have to listen to that. That's actually pretty cool.
all right, is that it?
Yep.
Alrighty then. Hit the road, Jack.
Yeah, I gotta
If you
get up
look
in about
back-
I gotta get up in about like 5 hours and go to work. So
Hey, I gotta get up in 6. Not really 6, but I do have to be up by 6.
yeah,
Cool.
but it's only a little after
Cool.
6 right now, so I'm getting up in 5 hours to get to.
Nice.
So anyway, I will see you guys next week.
Deuces.
See you, Jeff.
So, yeah.
This is actually pretty kind of interesting. You're getting to learn more about history through monsters. As Thomas Jefferson's talking to this guy and basically telling him basically the history of the Mayans and how they were, and Rodin was basically who they worshipped. When the Spaniards came, Rodin burned them all.
Rodin's kind of a beast like that.
Yep. Like the reason they did sacrifices in the Mayans did because they gave it to Rodin. So it's kind of clever on that. The human sacrificing. Yeah, but so like I said,
Okay,
it's
that's a brilliant descriptor. Elseworld, Lord of the Rings. Yes, that's great. I agree.
Lotar. That's what I think of every time. Lord of the Rings. Lotar. So we also learned then that basically Benjamin Franklin was involved with this whole cult of Godzilla stuff that people know existed, the monsters.
Of course
He believed in other dimensions, but he didn't tell anybody because he didn't want anybody to basically think he was crazy. But
Ben Franklin, crazy?
But the guy tells him about how in Rome, pretty much all the monsters pretty much ganged up and go against your Hydra dragon, brother, your Ghidorah. I think that's what it's called.
King Ghidorah.
And pretty much, and that's how that got destroyed, the Colosseum. Because Rodin get knocked into it. So basically, and at the end of this story here, Godzilla was defeated. And the Louisiana Purchase, because the reason that was because they brought Napoleon. Napoleon is actually part of this order too as well. He's part of this whole entire sect of people who know this truth. And he wanted basically the reason they wanted the Louisiana Purchase because they suspect there might be a kaiju there in the Louisiana.
It tracks. It tracks.
I
believe it. I believe it. I've seen our state. I know what it looks like.
The other thing is that a guy shows up and he's got a freaking laser gun because he's an alien. He's one of the Killians.
Something.
I'm not a Godzilla lore person, so
I forget that there's alien civilizations when there comes to Godzilla.
Yeah,
I always forget about that.
Right. But yeah, I go. This is the cover B cover. I just that's awesome. I like Firehawks. Oh. That reminds me of. All right. Number 10. Got Scarlet. Short, sweet, and did okay. There was no scissoring. There was no kissing. It was just plain up being sisters. There was no flirting at all.
The point then?
The point was to introduce
Scarlet and the Arishikage clan.
Yes, and the Inner Giant.
Does he kill the guy? Does he kill that old man? I think he does. They don't show it though.
Yeah, he just freaking swings it around and like
he just swings it around. They're just cheering.
So it's setting up because the GI Joe have not been formed yet, but these two are undercover in the Spacey Storm Shadow's new clan because he's now the leader.
Yeah.
Of the Arshikage. So honestly, I thought it was a decent ending. I mean,
it was all right.
Yeah.
Not terrible.
I like spy stuff. The art could be done better.
But the art was I mean, there are some scenes. I like the scene where she jumps off the top of the building. It's that scene from Mission Impossible 3 where he's like base jumping off a building. It's kind of like that. I like the art for that, but overall,
So,
yeah,
number
I think
9,
overall the art could have been better.
Scorched.
Is Gunslinger Spawn back yet?
I think he is.
I saw him on a cover, and I was like,
Okay.
son of a bitch,
Yeah.
he's back.
Yeah. So basically, Jessica is basically on a cover to work with this group, and so we're gonna meet with some of the guys because she meets with the medieval, and she's basically a disguise. Because she says the best way to hide and keep anybody from following you is basically hide in public. Be the most,
That's a disguise.
I know, right? Steven Seagal art.
Oof.
Yep.
Excuse me.
And she's telling them about basically how this place is working for her. Remember, if you've been following along the story, there's a female haunt. Another one before the two the brother and the priest were basically bonded. There was a female version years ago, and well, because the last events basically caused her basically when it says here it says so. Remember the female haunt? They put Redeemer and haunt next to. Basically, when they escaped, they made a hairline fracture in her cage, causing her to escape. And that was issue 30, though. We're talking about Go Flashback issue 30. She just cuts through all this female haunt. Was actually a nurse that she was a Nightingale nurse. Basically, was going around murdering people.
Dang.
Because she enjoyed it, and then so basically she got affected by this haunt thing, and now, yeah, Jessica is pretty. Like I said, you get a lot of really good art in this. Story's been picking up too. Basically, you see her taking off stuff. She runs into basically, Spawn. They have a little argument there, and we learn that basically, this whole entire time, because I thought she was a traitor at first, because they really kept saying someone was going to betray them, and it turned out to be Jessica betrayed them, but it turns out she didn't betray them. It was planned. Because she wanted to cover, this guy put basically like Suicide Squad put bombs in her if she disobeyed. But when Haunt attacked her and left her almost dead, he hit every single little bomb that's planted her, and basically freed her from being blown up. So now she can work freely. Some goons basically show up and yo, what's up? And he's like freaking we want your girl too. And then they just basically beat the shit out of these guys. He's like, she said, it's like, it says, Spawn and Jessica don't say a word, but with a single glance, they know exactly what each of them needs to do. And what aggravates them the most is that they have to waste 9 seconds taking out these shitholes. And then, yeah, she goes back, and then basically this dude is freaking out because he's been medieval has been like in his subconscious, and the whole story they're looking for medieval personality, and he's basically freaking out because he needs medieval. He can't live without him. And then here's Redeemers in the background. He haunt, and then another guy, one of the villains that became one of their sides. Honestly, so it's basically it's a search for looking for his counterpart medieval, and then I guess there's some fan stuff in the back here too. People are doing fan art. So, and yeah, pretty much. So that was 8. Is Green Lantern Civil Corps. No, I did not read the Alan Scott thing at all, but I did read the part of I guess that tie-in where he was talking to the Mazel robot and stuff, and where he's in prison.
Oh yeah. The Absolute Power tie-in, yeah.
Yeah, so I remember that, but I did not read the end of Absolute Power, so I don't know if that's what I'm missing.
I still have it. I keep seeing some Dan Moore art that looks really good from it, but I haven't read it yet. What this
starts off is like, okay, it's like all of a sudden you got the John Stewart story. I have no idea who that's supposed to be. His sister. He's got a sister.
I think his younger sister. He makes a construct of her. I think it has like her.
Is that what it is? Okay.
I think so.
Yeah, he gets attacked, and yeah, you know what? Since you don't like spoiling that, let me spoil it for you.
Go ahead.
Kilowog is alive.
He's a Yellow Lantern now.
And he wants
Because he
that.
inspires great fear, I guess. I don't know.
Well, remember we thought he died. No,
Yes, we did.
Here, and
Well, no. Well, first he was there. Then it turns out he was a hologram that Hal created because he died.
Yeah, so
It's all over the place.
so then we learned about basically that he looked like he died, but they never found a body. If I remember correctly.
Nobody.
And then it goes 12 hours later, and all of a sudden it's like they're all talking together. I'm like, what did I miss? It just feels like all of a sudden they're all together. Like, so I'm wondering. I need to read the Absolute Power conclusion.
I think if I recall some stuff from Absolute Power, like Star Sapphire was with the JSA for a little bit, and then she found Hal.
So
was breaking out of prison. I don't know.
Here's the one thing you didn't mention. People were pissed off. Like, how old is Carol? She's like, wee, look at me. I'm a superhero now. And she's like, act like a teenager. People were pissed off about that, apparently. Like, writing her like a teen. I'm like, they changed it. She's not, it's a little bit.
It's not that bad, I don't think.
I don't know. But I do love this the Mazo robot who have the pure heart energy in him.
Yeah. That was actually fair. You know what? As far as Alan Scott in this post, he's gay now universe type thing.
They don't mention it.
That's not part of the thing. So you know what? I give them credit for that because they could have. They could have turned it into a whole thing, but they didn't.
They also have Shepard from an alternate.
Yeah, he's from the Well, no, isn't he from the Jon Stewart story? I thought he was.
But he's from a different thing. I think I thought
I don't remember.
Alternate reality. I thought maybe.
I thought he was from the Jon Stewart story, but I could be wrong.
But anyway, so for those long story short, if you've not been paying attention or reading the Jeremy Adams stuff, there's a new central battery that's been hidden on Earth, Green Lantern battery, and the Mazo robot basically saved Hal, the last Green Lantern issue, and he found his life purpose to be the protector, the guardian of this battery. And Hal's like, you guys, if you really want to go on and do stuff, guess what? You're gonna need new rings. Like, what? He's like, yeah. He's like, well, he just takes his ring, and they're like, what are you doing, bro? He's like, here, you need better rings. So everybody's got their new rings, powers up. They're gonna split up. They do the heroic, the quote and everything.
No Kyle Rayner. That was the one thing. There was no Kyle Rayner in this issue.
Well, Kyle Rayner's been kind of like cuckoo.
He's been kind of yeah, I know, but you can still put a page.
Yeah, so
you can still do a page.
There's also no Jessica Cruz.
That is true. There was also no Jessica Cruz.
But like I said, we get an awesome Alan Scott. It feels like I'm reading kind of like
that was some pretty cool where he's making the giant snake and the chicken.
Yeah.
With the blindless ones, I think they're called, or the sightless ones.
So basically, they go to Thanagar to warn them. They say hey, you guys been duped on the planets. Only find out that one of the guys there actually was a bad guy, shapeshifter, a Skrull. We call him that. We call him the Purple Skrulls.
That's actually Tharos, though. That's actually the big bad guy.
Yeah. So Tharos shows in there. Tharos gets the ring from Jon Stewart. It's pretty much just like chaos. And then he gets a giant thing. He's in his construct.
Tentacles.
And like I said, it's just so cool. Yeah, there's the other construct that because that's
actually pretty cool. Yeah.
So I guess Alan Scott's power he can do because Tim Sheridan he can do fourth dimension.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's like the thing I felt I missed the most was apparently now he can go through the fourth dimension. Which is okay.
Here's Guy's plan. You distract. It's a Booster Gold thing. Run up, yell at him like a Booster Golden Beetle. Calls him names, and he runs the other way. And then, Guy's like, "Hey, Larfleeze, want to come out? Where's my special? I love this."
Larfleeze, man, I miss some Larfleeze.
But like I said, it just gets crazy. But then, like I said, you get to learn more about that ring that the guy has, the dark. Whatever it is,
the Dark Star.
When he grabs those guys, he whips them and he turns them into like zombie constructs almost.
You know what? It's not Blackest Night, but I'll take it. It's pretty cool.
Oh, it is just crazy. Like I said, he ends up getting killed, but only by some monster god that they pray to. Shadow monster.
I think that's from the Philip Kennedy Johnson story.
Must be.
Because
I'm
Jon Stewart seems to know who he is.
Because, well, remember what's the name was dead? One of the Red Lanterns wasn't Atrocious.
Atrocitus? Yeah, but that's not Atrocitus though.
I wonder who it is though, because it's somebody that is ultimate threat, and then they try to hold him, and then he ends up like bringing freaking Red Guardian Mogo.
Red Lantern Mogo, man, that's
yeah.
awesome. I kind of dig it. Mogo's gonna be a Death Star unto himself.
Who needs Eagle when you have Mogo?
The thing is, because the Red Lanterns, whenever they use their power, they throw up blood. So, like, what's that going to look like for Mogo? Yeah. Like a giant volcano just spewing blood or something?
Dude, now I'm excited for this.
That's so freaking cool.
Only if Dexter is on there. He's like, more blood.
If Dexter shows up, it's a certified banger.
So, Declan Shalvey, he is the writer that's working on the Terminator. I got the Alex Ross throwback variant.
That's neat. Ooh, that's cool with the skulls.
Yeah, and it's not Sparrow.
I was about to say. I feel like I missed a big announcement.
I think he's got he's done with Dynamite, but this is Luke Sparrow with Colin Cracker.
Okay, it's a very different last name.
Jeff Eckleberry and Nick Cosby. The packager and editor. So basically in this we get started out with a Terminator. Just kind of scene here. Yes, exactly. That's what's going through my head. I just recently watched Terminator 2 like about 2 weeks ago. This little couple, and they're in 2018 Alaska. They're hanging out. They're at the grid. All of a sudden, he sees like he's picking up junk, more junk. He's like ever since the war started, all his junk. And then, well, because remember, in the actual Skynet launched in 1987. Mm-hmm. This is 2018 in there. One of this Terminator walks out of the water and starts approaching. He runs the house, tells her, "Burn the journals. They're in the books. Whatever." I don't know why, but he thought probably because they want him to learn secrets about time travel, whatever. Mm-hmm. But and he just comes in, and then like the guy, while she's burning stuff, he grabs a shotgun, and then he basically shoots him in the face. Sends the old guy back a little bit, and then you can see this. And then you get a flashback, back to where 1979, where these husband and wife are hiding in a hotel room. They don't know why, but all of a sudden this guy is hunting them. And he's like they've been on the run. No matter where they go, turn out that it's actually before its time, Steven Seagal. And he's just been hunting them. So they charter a plane. They're going to have to go off the grid. They said the guy says like, I don't care where we are as long as I'm with you. They're going to get a plane and they're going to go basically somewhere and in the woods. And he follows them to the you can see there's a lot of action in this. Follows them to the plane. He's in the runway. He basically runs over. He's like, "Take that, you son of a bitch," because he doesn't realize it's a robot, or kind of like it's 1979. And then you're like, "Oh shit, he's on the side of the plane," and he's like, "Get off my motherfucking plane!" falls into the lake. Like I said, it's just like anything there. So then we get to 2018 back in. There's. Then you see the tank stuff, and the guys here. He's like he's going to grab a shotgun, but then he gets killed. Doesn't make it. She comes in. She burned her book. She's basically shooting the thing, and then she has a heart attack, and dies, and pretty much she falls over. Everything burns. The Terminator walks in. And he sees her photograph, and then he ends up freaking just going back in the lake. He's like, "Well, fuck, I'm done. I'm back in the lake now."
Creature of the Black Lagoon.
It's like Jason, pretty much. So it's called Buried Alive. That's by Sal Crivelli. That's the second story that's in here. and you see this Terminator arrive. Not to say exactly what year it is, but he arrives. Boom, he's naked, walks in there.
They're always naked.
Of course. He arrives in town, and he goes in there, and basically, turns out there's a Terminator versus another Terminator in here. So we're getting and it's called the redundancy detected. So basically, the good ones are called redundancy.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Like I said, this story, I guess, So the next issue, Saigon, 1975, the war is winding down. American forces are in retreat. One GI is enjoying his final leave in South Vietnam and capital when he's urgently called to the front. Back on the line, Private Duggan finds that his sector is being overrun by mysterious enemy force and one that doesn't operate like any Viet Cong or NVA. A one-man Charlie platoon, so it's like, so the next issue is like Junkyard Joe killing people. So what I'm understanding of this is that the Terminators are going back, instead of killing John Connor, they tried that failed. So now they're just killing his army. The survivors are alive in 2018. They're going back into the past to try and take out their ancestors. So John doesn't have an army. So there's basically they're just sending multiple Terminators back in throughout time to just take out everyone, erase them from existence, so they won't survive. The only problem is like eventually that's gonna. I'm gonna say it's time travel. Okay, so I mean, because you change one thing, it changes a lot of things. It's a butterfly effect. So I don't know. I liked it. I thought it was really good. There's only like $5, and the writer, he's a guy. He's a far left wacko, whatever in his politics, whatever. But in the book, I don't get that. He's also been one of the ones who's been writing Thundercats. That's been a great book too, as well.
Nice.
Alrighty, my number 6 though for this week.
Only yours number 6.
Dude, I love that.
That cover is pretty cool though. That's a good cover.
Apparently, it's not a first appearance of that thing. I thought it was. I looked at IMDb or not IMDb, but Elite Comic Geeks, and it's Jevon, is the first appearance, but there's no first appearance of that giant machine though. And
I don't recall seeing that before.
No, they're right. And I almost thought it was because of the arcs. Hey, it's the Void Rivals planet.
Could have been.
That would have been funny if their planet they're on is actually a giant transformer.
Unicron.
Yeah. But oh my gosh, so Jason Howard is a new artist on this for a little bit, couple issues. His art is pretty good.
Yeah.
I'm happy when he actually can get someone who comes in and actually I feel like they actually want someone to say like, hey, you want to write on this? And they're like, okay, let's see your work first before we see this. Not because you're a friend. We want to see your work because because they really want it to be seamlessly. So if you were not told that Jenny Warren Johnson wasn't on these issues, you can kind of tell it a bit different. But I mean, Jose Corona and this guy's, it's just like this is just so freaking cool. So this issue, well, let's make you feel bad for Starscream because before Starscream, back in his past, before the whole war in Cybertron, he was a good little robot. He had buddies. Then his buddy decided to join the war, but when his buddy got killed by Optimus Prime, Megatron says, "Hey, bitch, you want revenge? Join my team."
Essentially,
that's the whole story. But I mean, so it just felt weird. It's like I don't want because basically if you don't recall, Starscream basically got killed or almost killed. He was cut, for being a dick, pretty much by Soundwave.
Yeah, Soundwave gave him the King Leonidas treatment,
and he left them there on the bottom of the thing. And I love this because the end of this issue is tying into
I think Destro, because the guy talks about Mars Industries. I think
they show up at the end and they're hauling his body and oh yeah, and just he's got a bunch of half-blades. And I'm trying to figure is this guy an actual an actual villain? You know.
I
But
don't
it-
recall. I don't remember this guy, so it could be.
So, but he's a big old guy, and what is he smoking, Brain? A cigar. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
We
So,
pro cigar smokers now.
well,
No,
no.
we're pros getting to show things that people do in real life
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
that the puss.
I was about to say, is this like a new inside joke thing that
Well,
look at
no.
that beautiful
Don't you?
full
Do you
body
remember the
Megatron?
thing? They took away his cigar. He used to smoke a cigar in every issue.
I mean, they're airbrushing him out of reprints.
Yeah.
Wait, who? Wolverine?
The Thing, Wolverine,
Oh, the
Nick
Thing.
Fury.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
So-
disgusting.
Come with me if you want to live.
Do, 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 do. Ah,
And
it's
then he-
funny
and
'cause
then
you
he's
just
like-
got to him here.
Here's your first gun.
Starscream's first gun.
Now, I did not read the back issue. I guess there's a preview for G.I. Joe.
Oh yeah. Oh dude.
I didn't
Oh,
get a chance to
dude.
read that, so I'll be reading that later on.
Oh yeah. I'm so dude. I am so ready. If I only get 5 comic books from this point on, GI Joe is gonna be one of them. Like I am so freaking ready.
What's going on? You got my number 3. Did Quinn have any other ones? You just didn't start now.
I just see number 3. He has not gone farther than
Plenty of
that.
bands, an innocent trip to FurryCon with Kurt Wagner.
Kurt Wagner.
Yeah, just a little furry.
Don't. I don't want to go down this trail anymore. I apologize.
You gone the furry trail?
I shouldn't have incentivized
Pure
you.
Contail.
I'm so sorry. I should not have done this. Mistakes were made.
All right, number 5 this week. Geiger.
Hey, you got the fun cover. Sunday
couldn't pass it-
afternoon.
I couldn't pass it up. My other goal now is I've been trying to get is the Punisher where he's basically just mowing the lawn.
Sunday afternoon in a radioactive wasteland.
Yeah. Oh look, there's a bomb blowing up, and then dogs are just like having there's butterflies.
But where's the zebra?
Wait, is there a grill going? No, just kidding. Yeah. I gotta say, when I turn in here, that's the Geiger thing. It looks like a '90s like freaking. Remember all the ads they had for like the nuclear wasteland stuff? You know, it's like atomic warheads. So whenever I see the Geiger logo, like I think of those '90s comic books and all the ads they had in there. So I thought this was gonna be like, is this another story focused on the damn zebra Zigzag?
Hey, Zigzag is character of the year. Okay.
He just stands. He's like, what's going on? And, oh, look, there's an arm. Shit.
You know what I want to see happen in issue 8 more than anything?
He wants Zigzag to die.
I want the 2-headed dog to just eat him.
Yep. Breen has no soul.
A lot of
Wanting to
fantastic,
kill the innocent zebra.
a lot of fantastic art.
Yeah, the art's really good.
Manya, cover your eyes. Or anybody squeamish?
Oh, that was so freaking cool, though.
I see the lights.
Indiana Jones, man. The guy whose head melts.
Oh.
Love it. Love it.
And then road trip. There's a zebra again. And then, oh, look at the dog. And they're cuddling together.
They're friends, Breen. Barney wouldn't eat him.
Hope they don't mate. Hope they're not like boy and girl. That'd be weird.
Why'd you make it weird?
A 2-headed zebra.
Why did you have to make it weird? 2 heads, 3 eyes.
6 eyes.
6 eyes. It's like a bug.
Yeah,
Looks at
exactly.
6
So basically,
eyes.
Geiger gets talked to. The guy says, like, looking at him, he's like, dude, the guy had a family. But he's like, yeah, but he chose his side when he stabbed you in the freaking side, you know.
Kinda
So, and I thought they were gonna kill a nuclear knight when I saw he get stabbed. I thought it was kind of cool, but yeah.
You were ready for Nuclear Knight to die?
And then he's
Kill this
just got
guy.
Zigzag to remind him. Yeah, but yeah, they come across. Now here's the thing: if you're a Fallout fan, finally, I've been waiting for this in the series. Giant bugs. Kids are being attacked by giant bugs. These are the 3 kids in the House of Mystery. They survive somehow. He goes crazy, and then, you know, hey, Breen, get a bunch of K's on here. but he's not here
Say-
though.
See, he says kick. He's saying kick Venkman. That's what he's saying.
Well, he should. He must be from your state. He can't spell. But yeah, like I said, now it's just Geiger, and you know what his runs again? Remember, Geiger helped the 2 kids, and then they came across Junkyard Joe in the first volume. Now he's got more kids. They trust him, and they're like, "Oh, cool, animals."
He's
You're
building a family.
You're not gonna. If someone cares about animals, they care about something. Yeah. So at the end, like I said, it's a guy. It's a new guy. He's the queen, because the queen still basically wants revenge for Volume 1, what Geiger did, and now he's her new king. He basically is like, "Yeah, I'm gonna go kill him, no matter what. I'm gonna prove him." Yeah, and then we also get about this information about the Nightcrawlers. So if there's giant ants, I want spiders, I want centipedes, I want all that stuff. I want killer butterflies.
That would actually be kind of cool.
Give me Mothra. Yeah, very fun. I like this. So it's got the coffee.
They make their own coffee now? I think I knew that, but I'm still like, that just kind of like, dude, really? You're getting into, like, everybody sells their own coffee now.
I don't know.
It's wild.
Yeah.
That's what, like, everybody does though. Like the news companies, like, not news, like the
YouTubers
mainstream
doing now. It's like
YouTubers do it. Like Gary from Nerdrotic does it. Several YouTubers do it.
all right.
Like Buck, what was the one, Brain? Is it
Clay and
Clay or
Buck.
Buck? Yeah, one of them or both of them sell coffee.
Well, yeah.
Wild.
Number
Everybody's
4.
selling coffee.
Number 4, and I guarantee I'm probably the only one who got this.
Yeah,
You'd be correct.
I didn't see it at mine.
This was I've never read a She comic book before. I've never.
Have you read the He comics? Come on, that's pretty funny. Don't look at me like that. That was pretty funny.
Zach, I would revoke your humor card, but there was none in there.
Um,
That was funny.
What I like about this, because Billy is pretty. I think Billy's the one written by Steve Imperos, and Billy. Oh, it's Billy Tucci, whatever. You've heard it multiple ways. Tucci.
Like Stanley, same way Stanley pronounces it.
Tucci.
Uh,
Illustrated by Billy Tucci, Gardino Lima, and Ricardo Silva. Basically tells you what happened previously and stuff, which is really cool, because going into this, if you're a brand new person like I am into this series, gives you tells you everything that's going on. The art is freaking phenomenal. I mean, cheesecake galore. She's having a dream, or she's gonna love her husband, and then she realizes it's all a dream, that she's having a nightmare. Now he's in lockup, and now she's battling against some, like, the Obi-Wan, or it's called, or Obi-Wan. But like I said, pretty much a lot of good art. Story's really good. Murder investigation, because now one of her grandfather's best friends was found in a ritual murder scene. So now she's got to go hunt down the person who they thought was dead is alive. And they go to see her ex-husband with this FBI agent, and the FBI agent basically starts, getting into basically antagonizing her ex-husband, who has been locked away because he was a vigilante they killed. But so basically, and he still loves the main girl, but it seems like the two guys are butting head because they both like the girl. That's what it seems like. Her daughter is learning how to fight too as well, and just a lot of cool art. Yep, and then remember the guy, the cop, and he's pretty much gets attacked at the end of the issue. I guess this is number 1 of 2, so they're gonna have a second coming out. I'm actually kind of glad I've seen this in my comic book shop. Normally I don't see these. I see everything. I seen the what was the other one? Lady Death. I see those pop up every once in a while. But this is actually cool. I should go check out some of the back issues. I think you might have gave me some, didn't you, Breen? I think you might. Some She?
I don't remember.
I think so. I think there's some in the box you gave me. Number 3, Sanction. Wrapped up pretty well. No pun intended. If you like Gotham, this is Gotham set in the 80s in Russia. James Gordon basically trying to protect his wife, but also trying to find out how far this goes, that the police corruption goes, and because someone's been going murdering political targets, and it starts with the death of Hooker. That's basically what it is. It starts with the death of Hooker, and he's just trying to solve that case, and he keeps finding more people are involved. Even the guy he worked with is also involved in some shady stuff. Very fun. Art's pretty decent. We even get Russian. Is that Jerry Seinfeld? And Elaine and George.
That does look like Jerry, Elaine, and George. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Like honestly, if that blonde lady was Kramer, like that would be pretty awesome. Oh man, that's great.
I literally just saw it now. I read this earlier.
Awesome. That looks just like them.
Like, how can you tell that it's not Breen?
That's just like if they redid Seinfeld today and used the same actors, that's them right there. That's pretty great. I love it.
Very, very good series. I hope it gets released in the trade, so then Zach, you can just pick it up and read it. It's through Mad Cave.
This was a really good series, Zach.
If you like books like Gotham, I'll say if you like books like Gotham Central and all stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, I found it literally because the book that started with an S that was supposed to come out that day didn't.
Yep.
And I saw that next to it, and I said, "Yeah, I'll give it a shot just to have something." And it turned out to be one of the better things I've read this year.
Alrighty. Number 2. It's Rocketeer Breaks Free. I really like this. Again, Zach went over earlier.
Very good.
We're round 2. That's what I'm aiming for, ladies. Round 2. Betty Page versus the Nazi bitch. And then this all hell kept breaking loose in here in Alcatraz. And the great thing about Alcatraz, when he's in here, I really love this because if you've seen Escape from Alcatraz, they really pay attention to detail. What that, and everything you see in there is like the where he's walking up there, walking through, is pretty much you saw in the movie. Yeah, like I said, I don't remember who this villain is.
I don't remember Delton Nasty. I do not know who that is.
Yeah, no. My prediction, that blonde SS chick will end up defecting because she's a lesbian, and she'll hook up with the pilot that's been running around. That's my prediction. Because they're not going to do it to Betty, and yeah, I said that's
no. My prediction is that she'll turn out to be like the daughter of this guy that's breaking out of prison.
We'll see, because the blonde is from a previous series.
Yeah, she's from the previous one. Yeah,
the one where they had jetpacks. Number 1 book for a week for me. It was this.
Number 1. Oh, I saw that one too. I like the cowboy Superman. That's
cool. It's just awesome. We have Lex Luthor in here. We have Victor Stone becoming cyborg.
Steampunk cyborg. Okay.
Because there's a man. It basically talks about his lab assistants. You know how he's been suspended in his suspended animation for like 20 years stuff. Because he was basically trying to capture the experiment on the sun, the light and stuff, and a solar flare occurred, and it knocked something like a ship, dislodged an ancient object, and they experimented on it, and his buddy got basically suspended animation, so he's had him there, and basically Victor says, "I don't want anything to do with this." Lex is just straight up evil in this series,
as he should be.
So when Victor goes to leave, he's like, well, nobody says no to Lex Luthor. he blows up his car remote control.
Ooh.
Because he wanted to test out his new. He's like, not only do I get to silence this guy, but I also get to try out my new invention, a remote control detonator. Wayne Industrial Company, which is really cool. Like, what he's doing? He's just shoveling a lot of coal and stuff, and I guess it's supposed to be Jules Madison. It doesn't say what her name is, but they're there. Alfred's there too. They're in the hangar, and it's the Bat Blimp.
The fat bat.
I mean, it is just freaking awesome. And then, and then we get the nightmare scene here. He wakes up, Victor. He's got creepy old Lex Luthor. He's covered in on the blanket, and he's just like, and he says, like, he's like, who am I? Hush now, Mr. Stone. You had your moment to speak. Now you're going to listen. There was a dreadful explosion several weeks ago. It was only with the benefit of my timely invention that you survived. Well, most of you. He's like, God, it hurts. Why am I not in the hospital? Really, you should be thanking me. You're about to become one of the great pioneers of history, venturing forth into as a yet unexplored realms of human experiences and the entirely new form of being, the very pinnacle of human evolution, the melding of mind and machine. And he's like, pretend you want to, the picture you want to strangle me, and he's like, good, like, keep doing that. And then he's like, picture it in your mind, and then the arm moves. So that's your little glimpse. They leave it like that. Then you got this canal here. We go back to the Phantom Stranger, right there, the guy with the hat, and John Constantine. And the Phantom Stranger basically, wants to talk to him, ask him questions. Constantine's like, bugger off. Phantom's like, doesn't do what he normally does. That the Constantine basically, whips him around. We go with the bat plane here too. He calls it the Batwing, but it's a blimp though. Yeah. Well, and the Green Lantern. It's like it says Smallville. Roll up, roll up. Behold the miracle of the Green Lantern.
Which Green Lantern is it though?
It's Alan Scott.
Oh, okay.
And he's not gay in this one.
What?
Yeah.
I didn't think they had the guts.
And as he shows up, he's still Miss Wayne. Is the ring he's got? He's got the Green Lantern ring. Basically, yeah. So basically, it's kind of cool. You get Jimmy Olsen. We also get Lois Lane. Some villain comes to town. He's like, and his name's Deadshot. He gets the core with this guy. Yeah.
Sam Elliott look going.
Basically, he gets in a fight with this guy. He, shoots his guns out his hands, and then rumble starts happening, and you gotta go tell him, oh, sorry guys, I was just and I love it because he's like, what the heck? So he basically is like, my bad. And he's like, it's like, and he shoots at him, and then Clark purposely trips because he doesn't reveal that he has superpowers yet, but he basically hides the fact that he has superpowers. He's basically still Clark Kent in this. And he gets shot, but then he basically pretends he didn't get shot at all. But then he basically heat vision on the gun. Lois Lane sees this, and literally it ends with this guy seeing this. Not sure who he is, but it looks like it might be Bruce Wayne.
Of course, it's Bruce Wayne.
To be continued, though. It's not. There is one more issue, I believe. I think there is. I think there's 6 issues. Yeah, very fun book. Kryptonian Age is really cool. We got going in the chat here. What's up, MK? Venkman has hair. What the
Does he really?
Yeah,
I didn't know
I've
that.
had hair. I've had hair. What do you think this is back here? Why would I not have hair? I'm not puppeting. I just wear a hat because I like wearing a hat. All right. All the cool back issues. You guys ready for this? All right. Zach's like, what? He hates
Sorry.
Wonder Woman. Confirmed.
I like Wonder Woman. Loebs and Diodato, nice.
It's a Brian Bolland cover. When's the last time you've seen her like this?
It's been a hot minute.
It's 1994. After the Zero Hour.
90s. Love the 90s.
All right. Issue 60 of Superboy. With the cool Wonder Woman.
Oh.
Yep. They blast from the kingdom come. 61. Multiverse.
Interesting.
The Legion of Superboys.
So he did it before Spider-Man did.
No. Well, I mean Spider-Verse? Yeah.
Yeah.
62. During Blank Zero, so. '63. Infinite Worlds, Infinite Doomsdays.
Nice. That's pretty cool. I'll give it that. That's actually pretty cool.
I can't really complain about them bringing Doomsday back because at this point it's tradition.
He has to come back. If Doomsday doesn't come back, then what's it all mean?
64.
Wow, they really did do the Spider-Verse treatment to him.
First I thought it was Superboy Prime. That's what I thought it was.
How have we forgotten this as a culture? It's like we think, Spider multiverse. Like, obviously, Superboy did this 30 years earlier.
Here you go. Here's one from 1969. The Wally Wood cover.
Ooh. Oh. That lady has a fully exposed Tata. Or barely. I can't tell. The lighting looks weird.
Which one are you looking at?
Oh, no, she's got something. Okay, never mind. I thought it was like fully exposed. I was like, wow.
All right. Here you go. You ready for this one?
Sure, maybe.
Speaking of Green Lantern.
Oh.
So. All right. And then I saw this there too. This was kind of cool. I want to get this. I get this up Invincible Iron Man number 25. It's Namor.
Namor?
Yep.
Did you? I'm going to side tangent now. Did you see this video earlier where Chip Zdarsky was talking about how he was at a Marvel Writers Summit and he heard Ryan North call Namor Namor? And he was like, we need to kick Ryan North off Fantastic Four now because no one who calls Namor Namor should be writing Fantastic Four.
No one named Chip should be writing Batman when he's just slombering over a non-binary man.
The funny thing about that was how many people thought that he actually was calling for Ryan North to be fired.
I would be okay, dude. Chip Zdarsky did so good on Marvel 2-in-1,
but he was giving shit to his fellow Canadian. That was all in fun, but people believed him.
Yeah, but it was still funny to see.
It was, but like I said, did you think for a second he was actually calling for him to be fired?
I thought in one part of my brain, I was like, maybe this is them teasing that there's going to be a writer shakeup.
I was gonna say this. When did he say this?
Earlier today.
A couple days ago, and I said you got to remember, Chip Zdarsky is painfully unfunny.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Why did that woman steal Buddy the Elf's costume?
You may have my seat, miss. Look, Mac, mind your own business. I'll mind mine. And then we get into these. It's more covers. Living Monolith.
Walks the living monolith.
This is my favorite cover so far I've come across yesterday. He grabbed onto the hammer.
That is actually, you know what? That's gotta be. That's not quite the Thor versus Silver Surfer cover, but that is a great Thor cover. I love that Thor cover.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Yep. This is a Marvel team up. The
I
Mighty
love it.
Thor from
Not
1984.
quite.
So
Yeah, it's close though. I
All
would
right.
say number 2 or number 3.
and then only a
It's a
couple
good
more
Thor
books
cover.
left. 2 more books after this.
He's all legs. I have a friend who's playing a video game called Silent Hill, and they have monsters that are all legs. So that resonates with me.
You know what's even more disturbing? There are guys thought that the nurses in the previous game were hot.
Yeah, I've seen those. I'm not gonna
And so
talk about them.
it's like the Ring Girl. Just turn around.
Turn around.
All right. I guarantee Zach doesn't have this book.
Probably not. You have a lot of books I don't have. Yeah, that would be one.
Rose Carlisle thriller.
The crystal ball, the hand in the wall, and the green monkey.
So yeah, all the cool kids on this stream have this book.
I'm just not cool, guys. I'm sorry.
And it is an October issue.
Don't know what y'all expected from me.
But all right, final book. I know that not even Breen has this one. His brain basically like almost had a heart attack last time I showed him.
Oh yeah, yeah, Zach. All the cool kids don't have this one.
Don't try to give Mark Comics Paw a heart attack. Ooh.
Christmas Parade number 1, 1949.
Wow.
So
That's pretty cool.
a little beat up, but
Yeah, he's saying in mint condition. It's $13.50.
Wow.
So yeah, I think I could live with a crease or two.
you're right.
It's wild.
So
Nope,
is it a reprint?
That's
It's original.
that's even older than us.
That's insane.
Yeah. And it's a wraparound cover too. And the first page is on there too.
Imagine how many lawns little Jimmy had to cut to get 25 cents to plunk down on that.
How many kids he had to beat up at school to get lunch money?
That's true.
You know? Yeah. You know who probably got this?
Eat hot death, Jackson.
Was that is that Spinner Rack? Who is the guy who's showing all the Christmas stuff?
I don't even know if Dave has that.
Yeah.
Yeah, he would be proud of you. I know that.
He's like, I got 6 of these. What are you talking about?
Yeah, that's possible.
I got the mint one.
Yeah.
It's like this has been sitting in my shop for about a year now.
Wow.
Didn't move. I'm going back. There's 2 more reprints. They're probably from the 70s or 80s, but they show the 1940s Donald Duck stories, Uncle Scrooge stories. You know, there's one where I guess one of the ones it shows from 1941. It shows that basically where Donald and Scrooge are in the money pit, or his bank there, and he's got they're rowing in a boat on top of the money. So like I said, I'm looking forward to reading this, but I'm also like, I don't want to take it out because I know it's just like, whoosh, rip. It's still attached, but I mean, like, it's the cover has got a little tear in it, a little bit, and I just don't want to like fool around with it. So, all right, though. But Zach, I did get this one.
Nice.
And I
Is
got
that the
another one.
Superman one or the Batman one? Or both?
It is
Nice. Very cool. Very cool.
So that's what it is. It's the Batman one.
He is a cool kid.
I am so cool now. I was telling the guys, like, man, imagine if you got this, but it's the Booster Gold version.
Oh, I would love that one.
I would have got them all in that little thing they had previous. I would have got like, and then when you turn it, then it shows up as Booster Gold. When they turn it the other way, then it's gone again, unknown. That's what I wanted. So he's like, hey, do you want these? I'm like, what the hell is this thing? He's like, oh, it's from like some security thing, probably from online. Probably it's like that's whatever. I noticed there's a barcode on the back though, the little thing, or SKU or code it is.
QR code.
Yeah. So does that give you a free copy, or what is the advertisement?
I have no idea. I
Neither
did
do
not
I.
look into that. I know Marvel does the thing where they have QR codes where like some of the books you have to like scan it to see an extra page or two or something.
Yeah, that's going to really. If any of these books had any collector value, man, that would be pissing people off down the road. It'll be long after those,
That's the thing with this.
whatever those programs have been erased.
The Absolute Batman, I'm not too worried about it because I got a feeling it's probably not going to be in like a collector's issue where I can't get it. Eventually it'll be collected in a trade, and I'll just play it by ear because I have no problem with Scott Snyder. I liked his other book he wrote, American Vampire. Loved it all the way through. I didn't read him on Justice League, and you guys seem to like it. So I mean, that's a good sign.
Yeah, I said.
That's why Justice League was good. I liked it.
Zach,
So as long as he doesn't turn into, hey, I'll just say this: as long as he doesn't turn into what our late friend Curtis Skip used to say, Snot Snyder.
Well, Zach with the YouTube
That's the one
channel,
joke he overdid. The one joke he overdid.
I don't care. I say it because I now I get it. It's funny.
Good takes on comics for the most part. He goes, "This was good because it didn't feel like a Scott Snyder book." Now, if we find out 3 months from now that Alfred can trace his lineage back 6 million years into cave paintings of the first Alfred, then I'll know it's a Scott Snyder book.
Well, blame Marania. She said she's a cave painter from that time with you.
But honestly, I said, I know how much you like the Gotham by Gaslight.
Yeah.
And it's, this is kind of the same thing in the present. It's just different presentations of all the familiar characters. I said I'm fine with that because I mean I've read there've been all kinds of different like the last Scott Snyder one, which I think was where he was walking around with the Joker head in a bucket.
That was moronic. Last Day on Earth. That was horrible. The book I was actually looking forward from that is actually Ultimate Run where they're doing would have been the Wonder Woman. I realized two things. It's Kelly Thompson. Kelly Thompson writes when she's at DC. It sucks. Honestly, her writing on the Scarlet was miles better than what she's done at DC. And at Marvel as well. Although I'd say it's probably I'd say it's probably on par with their Black Widow series. The Scarlet series, would you say that? You were Black Widow.
Black Widow was a little bit better than Scarlet.
Maybe because we like Black Widow and Yelena.
I think it was a large chunk of it was the art was better. Because the story wasn't new. I mean, you called it the long kiss goodbye all the time.
Well, that's because it literally was when she has amnesia and then finds out that she's actually like,
the
not
writing,
a school teacher.
It wasn't a terrible story, but yeah, it was a little bit blander than the Black Widow was. The art was if Elena, I think it was Elena Casagrande that did the Black Widow.
Yes.
If she had been doing Scarlet, it would have bumped up the quality of Scarlet a lot.
Yeah.
I think.
But story-wise, though, I mean, I thought it was decent.
It wasn't terrible.
Storm Shadow was pretty cool.
It was like, remember that? Do you ever see that movie Salt with Angelina Jolie? It was like trying to be like a spy. It was kind of like that. It was all right. It was entertaining. I'd watch it if it was on TV.
But I'd say it's miles better than what she got her when she was working on Captain Marvel. And to be fair, like I said, Captain Marvel, no matter who's on it, they have to write the same way.
Yeah,
it's the way they want the character. But when you saw her take over Birds of Prey, that sucked.
Birds of Prey was not great.
No, but
still isn't great. I don't think.
But in Marvel said that she did Black Widow, and then she did Exterminators. Exterminators was fun.
It was.
Her Gotham City Sirens that she tried to do was worse than that.
The only time the Birds of Prey have ever been written well by a woman was Gail Simone following Chuck Dixon up to a certain point. And that's the problem. I said, women have to be written by women now, but the women they're hiring are activists and can't write women in a way that would be interesting to anybody other than other activists. That's the problem with most of the women writing comics today.
They're afraid to sexualize characters up because, oh my gosh, if you draw a character looking good, and the fin is like, oh, you're sexualizing. We don't need to sexualize.
Well, activists won't do that, but I said like you notice you can tell who's not an activist is that lady that writes Red Sonja, Torun Grumbeck.
Yeah. Torun Grumbeck actually wanted to write it. She wanted to write it, and then they said no.
So that's the thing. But yeah,
so the other thing I gotta point out about the Wonder Woman book that's coming out is no Themyscira, and she's all out of patience or whatever, and it's like it's New 52 all over again. That's what it feels like. It just feels like she's just gonna be aggressive and just fight, and she's got a giant sword and she stole from Cloud.
Yeah, I have a feeling that she's gonna be very antagonistic towards men,
one-dimensional. Yeah,
and yeah, I just said I don't trust her. I know you guys give her more rope than I do.
Well, it's a DC, so I have no faith in it because.
But then again, I have no faith in Superman either because that's Jason Aaron, right?
I think so on it. I'm not sure. What's Jeff Lemire writing?
It is.
What's Jeff
I think
Lemire?
he's either doing Absolute Green Lantern or Absolute Flash. I think it's Flash.
Okay,
I could be wrong. No, it is Absolute Flash, and it is Wally West, not Barry Allen.
Yeah, but it's Wally West is a punk bitch with nose rings and shit. That's who cares.
So basically, they wanted to do Connor Kent from the '90s.
He's a 90s kid.
Oh, no, but I mean like a worse version.
Yeah, because Connor Kent was fun.
Well, yeah, Connor Kent
West, I
Connor Kent
will not
he
be
dressed
fun.
punk, and he did have a ring. Did he have a nose ring?
To be fair, we're only going off of a few preview pages. We don't have any
No,
dialogue.
I'm going off of the last 10 years of output from this company.
Yeah.
That was only broken up by about 18 months of good rebirth shit. Other than that, DC has had far more misses than hits.
Yeah,
and we've already gotten a good Absolute book. That might be the best we can hope for out of the 5.
Like I said, I'm just happy to I'm able to go back and get back issues. Can you imagine if the shops didn't have back issues and your only back issues they had was everything that came out in the past 5 years?
Well, if we didn't have back issues, more people might buy more books from Ease Auctions.
if it turns out these books surprise me, I said, I said, yeah, Jason Aaron, I don't think's written anything worth a damn in 10 years. Yeah, I said I haven't read enough Kelly Thompson, but but from what I've heard and everything, average at best. Jeff Lemire,
Fair.
I think is a good writer, but I've read very little of his stuff, and I just don't like the way that they're going to present the Flash. I just don't think I'm going to like, and I have no idea what the Green Lantern is even about. So,
Ultimate. I mean, as far as Marvel, what they have outside of the Ultimate Spider-Man, Jed McKay was knocking it out on Moon Knight, but I mean, Brian Edward Hill is running Blade, but now but I feel like Blade's just been ruined so much. Like once again, now Blade is like, well, he was possessed by this demon, and now everybody hates him again because he tried to destroy the earth and filled with vampires. Blah blah blah.
Well, that's the other thing. When you have a storyline where you have a character, and this was
it's like Heroes of Crisis, doesn't it feel like that? Wally West,
somebody I really like, Mark Millar, but he did a Wolverine story called Enemy of the State, where he got his mind reprogrammed by bad guys, and he went out and slaughtered like almost every SHIELD agent and a couple thousand other people. Once they fixed it, he was back to lecturing other people about being violent. It's like there were no like cooling off period, no repercussions. It's one of the lamest tropes in comics that after something like that, when you could just hit reset and it's like it never happened.
It's like Mary Jane and just cucking Peter Parker for the past how many issues in Amazing Spider-Man, and then all of a sudden she's like, Mary Jane's like, you know what, Peter, I want to get back together, and it's like, if you're Peter, like, why am I even still around you? But that's what the writers like. They like that shit. I don't know. It's Marvel has very few stuff, and I say as far as stuff that's worth reading, the Claremont throwback issues, the Venom throwback issues, Mike Diodato, not Diodato. Who was the other one? It was DeMatteis. He was writing some throwback issues.
All I know is
look for the original writers from like 30 years ago. They're doing throwback issues. That's where you want to go. And honestly, Ultimate Spider-Man is probably my only book that I'm actually picking up because I dropped Ultimates.
There you go. I said Ultimate Spider-Man is the only Ultimate book I have any interest in. If Absolute Batman becomes the only Absolute book I have any interest in, I'm fine with that. Yeah. That's one more than I was expecting. Hey, Zach, guess what I read today?
What's that?
A couple of Hickman Fantastic Fours.
He was saying that. Yeah, he's enjoying
between
that.
Breen's JSA and now he's reading Hickman Fantastic Four.
Now remember, I had all these. I gave all my Hickman FFs away, along with like hundreds of other books from like 2010 through 2012.
I can't say anything. I only have a handful of the issues. I do have the key one though.
Now I kind of want to get them back though. Yeah, just I don't know why, but especially since I read a couple of Bendis Avengers from the 2010 series, and
oh yeah,
my God, the dialogue is painful.
I'll just say it though. There was one quip that I like is when he meets Spider-Woman. He's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna sue." Pretty much, it's like because she's using his name.
Except for they'd already met like 7 times.
I know, but
but in Bendis' world, it didn't. None of that mattered.
So, but yeah, the reason I think that's funny because I didn't get comic books until then, so I hadn't read all the previous stuff.
I was reading Avengers 2, and someone attacks the mansion. So Jessica tells Spider-Man to take the baby and go hide upstairs. It's like, God damn! I would like at that time. I would love to have had Joe Quesada and Bendis in like the bench area of a hockey match, and I would Hanson brother. Have you ever seen Slapshot? There's these brothers, the Hanson brothers. They're basically you know what a goon is in hockey, right?
Hockey players, yeah.
Goon, but it's the guy that goes and starts the fights.
Yeah.
Well, there's a scene in Slapshot where he just skates by the other team's bench with his stick out, just hits them all in the head as he passes them. It's like boom, 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 boom. I would have loved to have done that to Bendis and Quesada for the way they treated Spider-Man.
All because they hated the fact that he was their jealous because he was the face of the company.
Well, no, Quesada, was going through a divorce. And in some twisted sense of logic, he decided Peter shouldn't be married.
Because Quesada's not there anymore, right?
I know, but that edict is stuck. I don't know what Bendis' problem with Spider-Man was. Because at the time he was, Quesada was doing a lot of great things, but he shit on the flagship character. Bendis was writing a lot of good stuff, if not dialogue.
I'll just say this. Bendis, he excelled apparently on Daredevil. That's what you guys were telling me. He liked his Daredevil run. But in the Ultimate Universe, his Ultimate Spider-Man, bringing in Miles Morales, that felt more original than anything else.
Well, that was after that. That was after.
But I know, but I mean, that was, like I said, it's probably the best thing that he's ever done to me.
Well, his Ultimate Spider-Man, Peter Parker, was better because he was he was younger, he was hungrier.
Yeah.
The Alias series was pretty good, and honestly, like I said, the concepts of the Marvel stuff he did, because he was a major architect for that 6 years that I really liked. The dialogue was never that great, and by 2010, it was atrocious. Everything was just it was like reading an MCU script. Everything was a quip.
Do you know what was insulting? Is going to watch a Tobey Maguire movie and you see Bendis getting credit for what you wrote. How many books? on Spider-Man compared to all the other ones that should have got more credit.
He also wrote a lot of events and stuff that involve Spider-Man as well.
But not at that time.
2001 is when the movie came out.
2001, he'd written about
2000, yeah.
5 issues of Ultimate Spider-Man.
Yeah. So I was kind of annoyed. I was like, yes, I was Eric Breen. I was annoyed that he even got a credit on there because I was like, I think it was actually 2000. That's what it was. It came out. It wasn't 2001. It was 2000. And I was just like, well, how is this guy getting his name in there? But then I'm pretty sure they left out some other writers too.
I got to say something real quick. MK, they do as long as they both don't win, because the 2000 World Series was very low rated because nobody cared outside of New York. So as long as they'd love to have the Yankees get to the World Series, but it'll be anybody but the Mets in as far as the network's concerned. Anyway, back to the comics.
Yeah, but yeah. Anything else to talk about? Any other comic book news? Anybody else say any stupid shit? What did Mark Waid say today?
Nothing, but we talked about last night. But Zach, remember Andy Corey?
No.
The guy. The guy destroyed
no,
Vertigo.
I do. Yeah.
IDW said it's not enough to have Heather Ontos. We want Andy Corey editing our Turtles line.
When is that guy gonna get blacklisted?
Well, that'd be a pleasure to be blacklisted because it means you're friends of the black community, right?
Is anybody going to hire him when IDW shuts its doors for good? Because I just cannot with those two clowns in positions of authority. I cannot see them.
The only book I said right now, currently the only book that I could say vouch for at IDW that's good is the Saturday morning TMNT books. I tried reading that new whatever Turtles book that's out right now, and it sucks. And I'm sorry, the reason that the Turtles are more popular is because of the cartoon series, not because of the books. The series is a lot of times it's very serious, and you get that random Michelangelo joke. It still feels so forced and out of place when they put in these books. Like if you would have kept it like the way it was, Eastman did originally, instead of adapting the cartoon, then it probably would have been much more entertaining, at least as far as than what they're doing now. Because what they're trying to do now, they're trying to like do the Eastman, layered, real serious Turtles, and then throw in a random joke.
Yeah, I don't know. Maranya, I don't know. And honestly, if that's why he did it, he's an even bigger fat idiot than I thought he was. Talking about Joe Quesada.
Well, he can't fail up. He's too heavy.
Because he said, he knew somebody that died of cancer, so he takes it out of comics. Yeah, that'll fix everything.
He felt he had the need to do that because he didn't sit right with them. They'll promote smoking in comic books. They're aimed for kids. They haven't aimed for kids for 40 years. But the 80s, they were aimed towards adults.
Yeah,
some of the stories. The Phoenix Saga, don't tell me that's aimed towards kids.
Yeah,
the way Claremont wrote those books with Wolverine and stuff, those were not books for kids. Those are books for maybe late teens, 20s. So like you said, the whole thing, the comic books for kids. Yeah, maybe some the Heathcliff and some of the other ones, but I feel like Spider-Man was more friendly towards kids. But even then, it's like having the Thing smoking there. I don't know any kids are like, bro, I want to be the Thing, so I'm dressed up for Halloween, and then he's got a stogie in his mouth. It's like I don't know. We must protect the children. Now we're the point where the ones that want to protect the children aren't protecting the children. But that's another story.
Sorry guys, I'm gonna have to tap out though. I've got an early day tomorrow.
I'm gonna go get some food. I've had one of the Ease Onion days. Look up on that. Yeah. So I'm gonna try and get some food in me.
All right. Well, let's make like Kenny Omega and bid everyone adieu.
Well, it's better than what happened to Osprey. But yeah,
what? Something real happened to him?
No. Titles. Did you watch Dynamite?
What the
He got turned on by Don Callis' family.
Well, yeah, well, no, Fletcher wouldn't do it.
Fletcher, but but like I said,
He's conflicted, and Takeshita is still in there. I think what they should have done was had the Don Callis family turn face and fight Moxley's faction, because Moxley, scarred his forehead in real life.
Yeah, and also the other thing that Luchasaurus might be out for a while, because he's had complications after his getting pneumonia, the breathing stuff. So you know what though? There's an opening for Giants, because I don't get anybody else. But actually no, I take it back. Murder Hawk, whatever the guy's name is now. What was his name? The guy that basically
Murder Hawk, Lance Archer.
Yeah, Lance Archer is now with the Don Callis family. So, like I said,
he should join Christian's faction.
He actually should. Kill Switch and Murder Hawk. Yeah. But anyway though, I'll just say this is that whatever you like as far as when it comes to watching whatever wrestling, if you're a WWE fan, you're an AEW fan, TNA fan, or if you're a Marvel or DC fan of today or yesterday, or if you, like you said, if you only read independents or manga, I like hearing from you guys. Leave it a comment down below in the comment section after this stream's over, and let me know what you guys picked up, because I feel like Undead Quinn's the only one who's actually buying comics. It's not on the panel. Because literally he got 3 books this week. He's got what was that? He's Bunny Man.
I know Jay's buying books. He just never talks about them.
Yeah, he doesn't talk about it in here. But Minor Arcana, and then he said he got Transformers, and so it's cool to see that. So I know Wraith leaves a comment down below what he got, but I'm curious though as far as what you guys are picking up and reading. Whether it's reading back issues. Jackson's always great to hear what he picked up, because he gets himself off my comic shop. So so we'll be back tomorrow with 2 more readings. I think we might be joined by Senior Pixel. I'm not sure, but look forward to that. And I think there was no cover ranking tonight. So alrighty. So have a good night, guys, and we'll see you tomorrow for the readings.
Good night, kids.
Good night.
Later.